Happy New Year's. So this part, we only have one hunt left in Leslum, and it's unlocked now at least. That one is the frog again. I haven't done yet because it needs to be raining. So yeah, I don't know what to do really. I guess I'm just gonna go and do some other hunt or something. Because, yeah. So anyway, gonna do this part until I go to a party later tonight. So, and take like 2-3 hours maybe. But anyway, first of all, I wanted to do a very quick review, and it's gonna be, I guess, some spoilers there, but it's a bad movie anyway. Yesterday I watched, what the hell is the movie called? It's called like, The Girl on the Train. Yeah, The Girl on the Train. That's the most movie. Like a thriller drama movie, and most people compared to Gone Girl. And I also felt that it was similar to Gone Girl. However, Gone Girl is a good movie, pretty much like 10 times better than this movie, at least. This movie is too much crap in every regard. There were things that's a good point actually I'm talking about first and foremost, because this movie had a lot of issues, this The Girl on the Train. And one issue was that, but the biggest issue is the direction of it. The direction is horrible. Someone should be paid for directing that movie. So that movie had horrible direction in every regard. In everything, you know, from bad planting, bad frames, horrible tension, like the face, you know, facing everything was bad in the direction part. And furthermore, then it was so clear to me that this movie has not to do with Gone Girl actually. Like, the storyline is not similar to Gone Girl. The characters is not similar to Gone Girl. Actually, it's nothing similar to Gone Girl at all. Still, I have this like, this reminds me of Gone Girl somehow. And I read a few reviews yesterday on it, very briefly, and yeah, all of them were like, yeah, it reminds me of Gone Girl, but Gone Girl is just 10 times better. I was like, that's kind of the consensus. And I figured out why, and it's really kind of obvious. The movie makers were clearly, because I guess that movie was pretty much probably in production a year or so after, roughly a year or so after Gone Girl was released. Gone Girl was a very popular movie. And I think it's quite obvious to me that they probably was like, oh yeah, we have to cope with Gone Girl, you know. This movie is a thriller, female main character. Actually, Gone Girl had a male character slash female, I suppose. But you know, and so on. It really feels like they just looked at Gone Girl and like, yeah, okay, let's use the same screening and so on. Because the thing is, what reminds me of Gone Girl the most things is because how the color schemes, like everything, the music, the color, all of the details, you know, all the atmosphere, kind of create the atmosphere, not the actual setting, but like the, you know, the graphics of it, how you call it, is very Gone Girlish. So that's hard to do in a movie. For example, if you did a video game, right, and we're playing like a shell-shaded game, just of course kind of the cartoonish graphics you see in like Borderlands, yesterday of course the first game with it, Zelda Wind Waker and so on. That kind of would be a similar thing, right? You're playing, for example, it's the radio, and then the next shell-shaded game pretty much you play was Zelda Wind Waker. Like, yeah, this game reminds me a little of radio, not gameplay-wise at all, but graphic-wise it reminds me a lot of it. Definitely did. I think that's the thing with this girl, this movie, The Girl on the Train, that feels like it's like, you know, it looks like Gone Girl, right? As Zelda did with his radio, but the gameplay or actually the actual tension and the drama and the characters are nothing at all with the same thing, but they have that same graphic all output on it, and also the music and so on in a bit. But actually Zelda didn't have the music, the Zelda music. And I did my card. I was like, of course, yeah. They actually the music with Zelda and music with well, yes, the radio is of course extremely different. So, but yeah, I think that's the reason. That's my first impression of it. Because the thing is that I felt it a lot too when I watched the movie. I was like, this feels so much like Gone Girl, but why? I was like, Gone Girl is a fucking good movie. Like Gone Girl for me. It's probably like 9 out of 10, 8 5, like 8.5 to 10 or something. I think actually it's a really good movie. But this movie is like 3 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. The movie is really bad actually. Yeah, the girl on the train. It's a very bad movie. And where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna drive here while I review the movie. Yeah. So the problem then with the girl on the train, there's a lot of problems with the movie, especially as I mentioned, the directing. The movie was really bad. We're gonna stop driving here before it starts raining. The problem with this movie is there's a lot of severe problems, but the main thing is that it's extremely predictable, and I was even gonna compare it with much Gone Girl because the movie are very similar actually. As I mentioned, exactly like the theme of it, right? The coloring and so on, music and so on, or similar. Kind of angle, camera, yeah, all of that is just trying to be Gone Girl. And I think that just made the movie even worse because you remind me of Gone Girl as a good movie, but also it didn't actually fit the movie. So it's like, you know, it's forcing it down your throat, kind of the weird setting and so on. Very, very weird. But anyway. But one comparison you can do then is the predictability, right? Because a thriller is a really bad movie, usually, if you can figure out what's going to happen, right? Sometimes, you know, it might still be good, but if you can figure out, so about, the movie's almost 2 hours long, and about 50 an hour or so, so half the movie, I had figured out exactly what's going to happen, and I would say this, I mean exactly, like I was like 98% sure what was going to happen, and that literally happened, like exactly what I thought was going to happen, did happen. And when I watched another half hours of the movie, so half hour left, then I was like, I even quit watching the movie, I stopped for a bit, because pretty much exactly, literally exactly what I had imagined. Didn't know that actually said the fan share was by, okay, weird. Anyway, so the exactly what I had imagined happening for like the last 30 minutes had happened. So when I was then the last 30 minutes, I was like, should I even keep watching this? Because like now I'm 99.9% sure what's happened the last 30 minutes, right? Because I figured out that. So it's obviously extremely predictable and slow pacing as well. So it's like, wow, this is so ridiculous. So what I did actually was I had the movie on, took a break for like 20 minutes or that, turned on the movie again. Then I did some like hanging up my laundry and cleaning my kitchen, something. When I listened to the movie and sporadically going back, so yeah, okay, it's happening. Oh yeah, how fun! You know, it was like such predictable movie. We're in Gone Girl. I'm not gonna spoil Gone Girl because it's a good movie. Gone Girl is like, wow, I did not see this coming. I did not see that coming in Gone Girl. Around half that movie. The movie is really good. And also the ending Gone Girl is also very unpredictable. I don't like the ending, but at least it's very unpredictable, so that's a good thing as well. The problem is, as I think, the worst part of Gone Girl, the ending of it. Don't ask me about the worst part. I think the ending was just very illogical, but at least it was unpredictable. So, and it wasn't like impossible. Like some movies are just retarded. Like, oh, this happens and it makes no sense, and how it happened makes no sense either. It's a twist for a twist, and then it's crap. Gone Girl, there wasn't even a twist. It's just like I didn't expect this to happen, but that it happened was something that I felt was impossible, right? So if I had like 3 or 4 like given outcomes in the movie, what happened wasn't the one I felt had a high chance of happening, but I still felt that it could happen. So that's really good and really right. But in this movie, pretty much exactly what's going to happen, and I'm going to explain why. The movie has several issues, but the main issue with the movie is the presentation of the characters development, everything already crappy. But however, the worst thing is how the movie world looks, right? And then they use the thing I should call, the voice of God, right, or God information. But the movie, and this is the same thing in manga, anime, games, and so on as well, right? That you have information that's given to you as the viewer or the reader or whatever, but it's presented as a fact. And in movies, particularly in movies, when that is happening, it's very, very factual, so to speak, because if you read a book, the book, especially the writer can be more, weird on it, confusing on purpose and so on. Games showing more and so on. Very few movies, of course, especially with this, because it's such a common way to do it. So what you do in this movie then is that the main character, the movie jumps like a month or a few weeks, something like that, and then you see the main character has a monologue, an inner monologue, with the viewer pretty much, explaining what happened at the last week or something like that, right? And that makes it 100% fact in a movie, right? Because if a character, when the main character has some mind issues, so it might be, we might think that she's wrong and so on, and her memory lapse. But this is a particular point that she's like retelling information that she has gained from the police or whatever, and you know it's a big difference in the movie when we see the main character interacting, see with the people, right, and then talk to her and so on. Then we can see, well, this is probably factual, but they might be lying to her or whatever. We might see some agendas on it. But if a main character just tells you, oh, I learned this yesterday, you know, blah blah blah, and so on. That is very, very much like, okay, this has to be the truth, because we didn't actually, as a viewer, we did not see the main character actually experiencing these events, right? The main character has earned more information, you know, off the scene, right, on a time skip and between scenes, and we are just getting this inner monologue her telling us that. So that makes it very, very factual. So you have to assume that what she is monologuing to us, that it has to be true in the movie world. Same with games so as well, right? They have it's very, very like cutthroat. This is what's happening, and if the movie would not, you know, actually change it later on, because they could have done that, and it actually might have made it movie better because the movie was so predictable. That still would be kind of pissing your face, right? Because if the movie is doing that thing, like a strong inner monologue, retelling events, factual, you have to assume that the actual facts of the movie, not something someone's lied to her or something. You have to assume. So if they would like throw it around and say, "Oh, we tricked you," they actually, the cops lied to her or something, they would be like, "This is fucking stupid twist." Actually, that twist might have made the movie better, but that might actually made the movie better. But we still had a stupid twist, right? So the issue then is that she is being told about, because let's go back to the movie. I mean, the movie's pretty crap, but basically one woman is murdered, and the main character is like an alcoholic or something, so she might have done it herself, which would have made it better if they didn't train with the Congo, which actually people. And then you have some, you know, suspects and so on. But basically, she is told, and she said also then in half of the movie, that by the way, that the main character, or the murder victim, was pregnant. First of all, that was really bad directing or writing, whatever, because it definitely should have said this earlier in the movie. Absolutely. That would make the movie better in every regard if we knew earlier that she was pregnant. You wouldn't have to tell her that, oh, she's pregnant, you know, blah blah, this is the guy's one. But that would have made the movie way better, because one of the reasons you're thinking that, oh, the main character might be the murderer, would make it more interesting if the trailer was. So yeah, spoilers now, but I'm gonna, this movie's shit anyway, I'm gonna spoil it. But yeah, if she was a murderer, one of the motivation would be that the main character could never get pregnant. Her ex-husband cheated on her when they were married. He impregnated that woman, and notice other woman that she has been like stalking or something from the train. She would, you know, she's pregnant, so the main character would be pissed off and killing her because, oh, I could never have a child, and especially later on. But yeah, like that would actually kind of make some sense. That would be some motivation for her to kill her. Just from that alone, she's mentally unstable. But then she also, so going to sooner, would actually really motivate her to kill her. So yeah, that would actually be the information you should have way earlier in the movie. Like potentially it's the first 10 minutes of it, because that would definitely point more to the main character being the murderer. But no. So that for me is horrible directing, because they are telling you this. We're gonna sleep here now. 10,000 gills. But I've stored up, you know, so much experience points. We're gonna do this now, and it's gonna just shoot us up in levels here. Yeah, 7 days as the last. So I'm gonna get like 10 levels now. So I'm gonna be super high level. And if you followed my playthrough, you know that I'm investing a lot of time on the actual experience, like the stats things. It gives you strength and vitality and so on based on your level. So for me, especially getting all this XP here is gonna give me a huge amount of bonus. Yeah, 47. I'm guessing it is 5 levels, 52, but probably more. Yeah. 53. 52. Another 8 piece better. Yeah, so we can see our... There, of course, get some more level here. My brother was actually really high level on fishing. Oh,
この町、俺は割と好きだったぜ。
Just see here, then we go back to the that's fine, of course. Back to the review. So anyway, yeah. So also, yeah. So it's really stupid, really stupid to not have the pregnancy be known in the Golden Train way earlier, because that would really kind of point to the main character being a murderer, which is what you want, because the main character is definitely a suspect, and you're hoping that she is the murderer, or you hope. But I'll say that I was hoping that in the last hour or so, because it would make the movie way better. So that's one thing. It's really bad directed, because as soon as they tell you, oh, she was pregnant, they also tell you who the father is, like in the same sentence, which is really stupid. Like, yeah, like you're getting this really big information, right? And but you also get the revelation of who impregnated her, which is of course is one of the mysteries in the movie, or could have been, but it isn't, because they tell you something. Because they tell you right away. As soon as you know she's pregnant, they also tell you who the murderer is. It's like they'll tell you who the murderer is and who the father is. Obviously, the father is the murderer. So it's like, wow, like that fucking part of the movie, it completely ruins the movie. Like it completely ruins it on every regard. Like on every regard of the movie, it's like, wow, this is so bad. Like it's such a bad direction. Not just storyline and writing. I mean, you could put that as I mentioned earlier in the movie, and it would have been so much better. So you get there and you're like, okay, that is stupid. It's completely bad. I'm just gonna pick a skill here. Then I'll tell you more about that. I'm actually Magic, because it's actually really good, but it's kind of hard. 160 points means you can get something good, actually, like a really good thing. Yeah, that thing for example, you can spam tech thing, good. I'm thinking of unlocking some new skill perhaps. Regroup, the boost. This is really good. I don't care about that. Okay, that's some T-Word skill. Yeah, that is really good. It is boosting everyone, you know. Yeah, that's interesting. Pretty good. And this is good actually. For yeah, like almost critical hit, really good. Oh, that's really good. Even for Noctis, this skill for 900 that skill is really good. I'm sorry if my viewers can let stop here, but I have to pick this skill. Yeah, I want this thing, ultimate death blow, and this skill here is fantastic. So I'm gonna go down this road, and then I'm gonna pick the food. That's longer. Good to have. Okay. So I'm gonna go and fish. So it's gonna be really moving, but I'm fishing, and of course we're gonna fish over that place until we get rain. So it's gonna be pretty good. So here's the part. We can actually just go to the quest location. But yeah, the thing is that I'm gonna say this now, and this is gonna be. Some people are gonna say I'm wrong here because you couldn't know this because of this reason, but
Nocto! さ、何か写真で撮ってほしいリクエストない？
Big media probably on the best. There's gonna be a good review song here.
よし任せてよ。ノクト撮るわ。
Then I'm gonna play this part because it's an important part, and I studied some some movie. I did a course in drama writing movies, and of course started game writing and so on. Let's see here. I want the. Here it is. Yeah. So the thing with the movie is that it's really easy to predict who the killer is. because the movie, and I haven't read the book, because everyone is writing the book is better usually. But I think one thing with the movie is it's so obvious who the killer is, because yes, they didn't tell you exactly, like 100% sure, who the father is of the unborn child in the murder victim. They don't tell you exactly what it is, but they tell you with an extreme high, chance for it. Like you have to be. I have to say it, but you're an idiot if you can't figure it out. It's so obvious, not just from how the movie is presenting itself with the characters and so on, but also just the word the movie presents. So basically, and someone probably one day I'm misquoted on this. Someone called me misquoted or whatever, but thinking that the movie only has 3 male characters and like 10 female characters. Maybe at least 10 female characters. And that's a big issue. And I'm not saying that because it has to be more male characters or equal amount of this super that. So yeah, be nice to me someone to misquote me one day on this. But clearly the movie is it doesn't work for fucking 3 male characters, to be honest, because it's not an issue that it's more female characters or not. But the issue is that you only have 3 main characters. So as soon as they fucking tell you that, okay, it's not X or Y who pregnated the murder victim, you're like, okay, so it has to be C then. It's not harder than that. Like, even if you haven't watched the movie until that point, as soon as they tell you that, oh, it's not her husband, the murder victim's husband, and not a shrink that he was clearly having an affair with, which was the obvious suspect from our view, then we know it has to be ex-husband of the main character. It has to be Tom, because there only are 3 males in this whole world, right? That is just so fucking stupid, to be honest. Because otherwise, you could have, for example, the detective is played by, she's called Elsa Hennigan, right? Something like that, which is in Mom and so on. A great actress. She's playing the main detective. She has a partner that might be a man, actually. But that person has a partner, like you can see, like the partner behind her, like one scene, and also when in the end of the movie, like for a few seconds. But I think her partner never has done any lines and so on. So it's like a dead, extra on the movie. So whatever. Again, there is actually important is a character in the background. So for example, if that was played by a man, then at least you would have a 4th possible, guy that impregnated her, and they actually could. That wouldn't be a good storyline really, but at least if you had that situation where it's like, oh, it might be the detective, because the detective is clearly like biased against the main character and she clearly doesn't help her and so on. You could actually see that maybe the detective had an affair with her as well, for whatever reason. It would be kind of a stupid twist, but that would actually make more sense. So it was like more sense, but that actually would make the movie better probably, to be honest. So if you had a male detective, he was fucking the murder victim on the side, right? Then they killed her because whatever reason, like, oh, she was gonna abort the baby and he wanted a child, or whatever. Used to some kind of storyline, and that's why he hated the main character so much. Obviously, he knew that he was the murderer, so he wanted to pinpoint, blame it on the main character, Rachel. That would actually, be more of a twist, right? Would it be a really good story? No, it wouldn't. But but instead, because the main character, she lives with like her best friend or something. She's very little character development. We didn't mention her name. Anyway, she's played by the woman that plays Eric Foreman in 7th Show, his girlfriend Donna. She was in like the How I Met Your Mother. She's playing her roommate and best friend. But I can't remember her name. But yeah, anyway, probably never knew it. I think it's like Karen. I want to say it's Karen, but that might be her character name in like How I Met Your Mother. Anyway, yeah, so she's playing her roommate. She has a few lines, and she basically has a very important story actually. But for example, if there was a man instead, she was, if she was so one, right, that could have given it a little, okay. Kinda right, because the movie, it's so stupid. The movie, the whole movie is pretty bad, but it's that part of the movie, like half through the movie, they literally tell you this guy is the murderer. Because as I mentioned again, that you only have 3 main characters, not a single other man has a line in that movie, and the roommate is female. Her boss, played by Lisa Kudrow, of course, the female friend, my actress. She's female. Yeah, basically every other character in the movie that's a speaking line is a woman, and they probably are that like they were 8, probably not 10. So yeah, it's a few characters in total. And the voice of God then tells you exactly who it must be, because it tells you so blatant, tells you that okay, it's not her husband, it's not the shrink. And as soon as I heard that, and I was suspecting her husband anyway, because the movie was kind of obvious, he was a douchebag and so on, you know, so I was like, it might be him, because whatever, why not, like, I was like, yeah, if it's not the shrink, that's gonna be the husband, because it's too obvious and so on. So I was like, yeah, who's gonna be, and hopefully it's her, the main character. But as soon as you have the movie, so they tell you, oh, she was pregnant by a third man, she was cheating on her husband with at least two other men. And then you're like, yeah, but you just told me that it's Tom then, because you only have Tom as the last male character in the movie. And that's gonna, because the movie has any other male character. If the movie had several other male characters, you know, going over the first hour of the movie, you would be like, oh, it's probably Tom, but it doesn't have to be Tom, because I've seen these other 5 characters or something. It's the same in every drama, you know, TV show, like Law and Order or whatever, right? If you have only like, let's say like Law and Order, I can blame on this because Law and Order, I think I'm a big fan of Law and Order. I like Law and Order, especially the Trial by Jury, my favorite of them. Then probably SCView. I think SCView is generally better than the old classic one, but the old classic one I think is really good at the end of it, when it's played by, and I just can't remember his name right now, but you have the actor that's playing Barry's father, that's the father, Wes in Flash, and that actor he's really good. I can't remember his name right now, unfortunately. Probably because I never knew it either, I guess, but he's really good. I think he's one of my absolute favorite TV show actors. He's very good. And he's playing one of the detectives in the last 2 Law and Order, and also his partner is playing Suburban, is also a very good actor, by the way. But yeah, so anyway, the Law and Order is pretty good, but Law and Order definitely have shown me that very American wife. Yeah, that show is even worse than that in general, right? If you have someone like, oh, who raped this girl, someone raped this teenage girl, and they're like, oh, we have to figure out who it was, and it's like, oh, she got raped, we didn't find any semen. So then you can be like, well, it's SCView, it's probably gonna be one of her friends, or maybe like a teacher raped her, like a teacher or principal with a baseball bat, something. It could be happening. Like you're thinking that up because it's like, yeah. But if you say, oh, we have found semen in her, then you're like, okay. So far in this episode, we only have seen her male teacher and 2 female teachers. We have seen her brother and her father, and you know, and then you're like, yeah. So you might find that she's like pregnant by an incestual relationship. So they can include the father, or they'd be like, you know, after half an hour say, oh, we found, you know, she was pregnant before she died, and we can see that the baby was, you know, the DNA was far from her. Okay, I have to teach her because it's not an incest baby. Like that's kind of how it works, right? Because they only show you three characters, and that's a TV show though, so they have less budget per episode, and they're, you know, shorter and so. But that show definitely teaches you that you know, if you don't show. Because Law and Order, they want to twist it around usually. So usually you have these 3 characters. You also had like the water boy or the neighbor guy that you saw for like the first minute of the game, the TV show, finding her dead in the woods or something. Oh, he's just the neighbor guy. Like you could always expect those people as well in Law and Order, because you're like, yeah, okay, that guy has a speaking line. He might be the murderer. He might be the rapist. Like that's how it is. And of course, Law and Order has this problem with if it's called a guest actor, like for example when John Stamos is in it, you know, from Full House, called in English, yeah. But he's like a serial rapist, or not? He's like a serial impregnation. Yeah, it's a good episode actually. What's the best? He's playing a very good character actually, I think. Anyways, but he's in the movie or the TV show. You know he's the culprit because he's a famous actor, so he has to be the, you know, he has to have an important role, right? Yeah, you can do it. Migi! Migi means right. Migi means right. But yeah, okay. But yeah, you know he's a man, right? And this movie then, and I really mean it, fucking movie, almost 2 hours long movie, and you know they're giving you like 3 characters, right? The thing is that, as I mentioned, Law & Order doesn't better, like the brand of Law & Order doesn't better, because they will have maybe, also in Law & Order, 3 main characters, and like speaking characters, they will also maybe have like, you know, oh we also had this character, like her neighbor that we saw, and his father that we saw for like 1 minute something. And actually in Law & Order that is almost kind of predictable, because they usually want to use this random twist. You know, if it's some kind of weird storyline, they love to use like this random neighbor kid raping her or something, or whatever, right? Or like it's her uncle that we saw fishing with her father when he got the call or something, because he had predator. You know, they love that in that, in that TV show. But when you watch this movie then, I mean, it's, as I mentioned, it's so stupid directed, because you're only having 3 whole male characters. You know, that's so little, right? It is so little. Just to point it out, but it's so few characters. You know that's gonna be the last character. It's just so obvious. You can't be denied that it's ridiculously obvious that it's gonna be him. Like, where else would it be, right? I think you have to be really not focusing on the movie at all. And I just mean like the general thing in the movie. Happening in the movie. If you're gonna tell me that, oh, it could be anywhere else, no, it can't, because you're not gonna show a new character after half an hour. Like you see half the movie, suddenly you're gonna throw in like a 4th, you know, like a new character that we never saw before. That is what happened. That is what happened. Like, that's not happening. Yeah, that will not happen in the movie. Especially how the movie presented himself. Like, it builds up no character development at all, pretty much. So you definitely know it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna show suddenly another character, because I think okay, whatever. I used spicy here. That's fine. Yeah, like, it's not gonna show that. It's not gonna show that. Yeah, so right away there, girl on the train, completely fucking fails you as a viewer, because either you are retarded and you have zero observation skills, or you know who's the murderer is after an hour or so. And the problem is that the movie is way too, you know, slow paced, and it's way too slow. So in half an hour or so from this point, then we get, you know, 100% information that he is the murderer, for example. Alright, probably even before that, because we get some, like, he's abusing her there, and the kind of points it out that he's obviously in person. But yeah, so even kind of before that, you know, but still, in the last half an hour, it's like, oh, how is she gonna survive him, you know? But you know she's gonna survive, it's like a slasher flick, so you know she's gonna survive. So you're just watching it, waiting to go over pretty much. Last half an hour, because you guys, yeah, I know she's gonna survive. I know that he did it, was here shown that. So the last half hour is completely pointless in the movie, completely dragged out. It's just fucking bad. It's just really, really bad, this movie. But the thing is that, as I mentioned, then, because they made it so blatant, stupid, saying, "Oh, she was pregnant, by the way," and it's not the other 2 guys we've seen in this movie so far. Only the 3rd guy exists, you know. Like, yeah, because the movie is pushed in your face. It has to be Tom, the predator, an hour in the end of it. So you know that, okay. So you're literally just waiting half an hour to kind of get that, oh my god, the surprising twist, right? And then this is dragging out. So the last hour of the movie is complete crap. Literally. Don't waste your time watching girl on the train, because after half the movie, when you watch half the movie, you know how it's gonna end. You know how it's gonna go. Right, it's just that crappy. That's why I'm spoiling it so blatantly now, because there's no value watching this movie. But I watched it anyway. In the end of it, there was almost just kind of like, I just want to say I was right, you know? Like, this movie is so predictable, I just want to watch it to the end so I can say, ha, I was right. It's kind of like that, right? In the end, it's like, I just want to watch the movie so I just gonna prove that I was right to myself. But yeah, the movie did that. Really crappy. That's an obvious issue with the movie. Direction of it. As I mentioned, the pregnancy should have been mentioned way earlier. That would have put this more on the other characters being, you know, like the culprits. For example, from the main character perspective, Rachel, we know pretty much that it can't be the husband of the victim, because she is absolutely sure it's not him. Even if she's a drunk part and so on, we kind of know that, okay, you know, she has, it's the main character, she has some ideas, we kind of know it's not him. It's clearly not him, pretty much. So then we have the other shrink that we expect to be. It might have been it without, you know, the pregnancy thing. It could have been it. But the thing is that if we presented the pregnancy way earlier, and for example said, oh, you know, by the way, she was pregnant in like the first minutes, then we could imagine that, well, the shrink obviously is gonna shoot her, we know that, we know this will happen pretty much. However, then maybe her husband killed her because he was like, oh, you're going to tell another man, oh, I hate you, and, you know, very controlling and so on. That could be something in the movie happen, or actually, or, you know, could be Tom, the husband of the Rachel, but still, right? That would have given us, you know, some idea of it could be him. Like that would give him more of an agenda to do it, right?
Oh,
Think it's a big fish? Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's a new record. I think that was pretty hard fish. I think I can do one more on this line. Right, so for example then, no, that him himself is kind of like, oh yeah, it's probably not him anyway. I wouldn't expect him anyway if you knew it earlier, but I was like this 50-50 Rachel or the shrink that murdered her until we had a pregnancy. I'm 99.9% sure, 98% sure it's the ex-husband. so if you also had, oh, she was pregnant and blah blah, then I'll be like, it's not the shrink, he should be a good guy. That's my, you know, that maybe would put me like 20% of it being the husband, 40-40 on other two. So that would give some idea that it could be him. And then in an hour or so we learned that, oh, actually, it's not the father. Okay, yeah. So it's probably Tom. That probably was the Tom. So. That was the choice to Tom, but you know what I mean, right? That would be kind of like, yeah, okay, it's could be him, right? But it didn't. So that is bad writing, bad direction, giving us too information. Because you look at it like this, right? Normally it's very predictable because we only have 3 male characters mentioned. You should have more male characters. You can have more female characters as well, but you have to have more than 3 male characters. If you're gonna exclude 2 of them with one information so early in the movie, that line could have been said like half an hour later in the movie, just before the twist. That also be way better, because then you would, instead of spending an hour of the movie knowing how it's gonna end, knowing who the murderer is, and then after half an hour, you know, you learn, you see it directly. That line could have been put like maybe just a few minutes before, and then we could have the pregnancy at 1 hour, and then in 1:30 minutes we could have, okay, it's not one of these 2 guys, and then you see her memory alcohol thing coming back to her, seeing it has been a douchebag, but okay, it's him, right? That would be also way better. It would be way better. Now it's more like, oh, you figured it out by the way. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so horrible direction, and as I mentioned, it's nothing to do with Gone Girl, but you can see that they were like, well, let's try to copy Gone Girl's setting, pretty much, right? The theme of it. So you can be like, yes, Gone Girl, the new Gone Girl, and now it's crap. Because the story, the acting, everything is way worse. The storyline is horrible compared to Gone Girl. Yeah, like that would be... I think it has to be maybe risky now. Not line left. I think with the movie is that is the main thing with it. You know, it's just you want to have so many guys that could have done it, because you haven't shown me any other male characters. Yeah, also the pregnancy is stupid, because until the pregnancy was revealed, and also not being one of those guys, you know it's not the main character, because the main character very well could have done it, but as soon as you throw out that oh, she was pregnant, and I'm saying, you know, if you actually didn't tell us that if she was pregnant by Tom, tell her that she was pregnant, then we could be like, well, okay, that might have been why the husband killed her, might have been why, as I mentioned, why she killed her, because, you know, she could have been pregnant, and also, of course, we also let know that Tom is the father, and even knowing that, if it was more like pointed more, if the movie was much better directed, because the movie trying to trick you, that it might be actually what he did. Obviously, it wasn't because it's so just stupidly presented. But if it was more on that point, we might be like, yeah, okay, she was pregnant by Tom. And actually, it probably would be better then, as I mentioned. Actually, probably would be better if the movie told us, over her perspective, that she knew it was Tom, right? Because she basically is like, oh, she was pregnant, and we as the viewer knows that, okay, it's Tom because it's only have 3 males. It's the only male left. But as I mentioned then, if that actually was more like, if they actually told us, oh, it's Tom, and she's like, oh, Tom pregnant her? How could he? Cheating on, I think, ex-current wife, and so on. And then that could be like, yeah, okay, this could actually piss her off, right? She gets a kind of angry flashback. Oh, well, I kill Anna, and she's like, maybe I want to kill Megan, maybe, because, you know, she also got predated by my ex-husband. Never could predate me and so on. What a bitch, just what that would actually give us more point towards her. But when the movie so blatantly tell us that, yeah, it's him. You know, if you have any kind of awareness, you know it's him. And also then, but also giving us information that she doesn't know it's him. It actually reduces her chance of being the murderer tremendously. If you just told us, oh, she was pregnant, but it wasn't, yeah, you know, and and she also knew that it was, you know, that it was him, as we know, as viewer knows. Then it would be more, you know, just having a line. You have a fucking line, to be honest about it. You have a fucking line in the movie. I don't say anything about it, but you have a fucking line in the movie when she is mentioning, because obviously we are figuring it out. We as the viewer aren't that stupid, so we are figuring out right away that, oh, it has to be, you know, Tom. So if you had a fucking line in the movie when she is freeing, like, because she goes to shrink because I'm trying to trick him. She's like, oh, so who could it be you were in life? Well, she worked at fucking Tom's place. That also is fucking stupid in the movie, by the way, because she worked at Tom's place with, for Megan and their child. And when you see the murder scene in at the end of the movie, which is just redundant because you know he did it anyway, but you see the murder scene then, it's very clear that she was like, oh, I was, you know, get you to work with us so I could fuck you when my wife was sleeping in the next room, you know, not to her and so on. You know, that doesn't make kind of sense thinking about it. He said to control the douchebag, so yeah, whatever, fine. But, you know, the main character never figures out. We as the viewer see some part from her perspective in the movie, so we know that she's working here. We know, actually it wasn't that clear, but we kind of know she's working there, so yeah. It wasn't very clearly done, it was very badly written, or acted badly, and directed and everything else. So we don't actually know it. We know for a fact that she works with for Megan and Tom, but it doesn't, or Anna and Tom, but it doesn't show us that well that it's Tom and so on. And someone can say, oh, that's good writing, but no, it's just badly done. So it's clear the point that she's working there, so they all know each other pretty much, but it's not very clearly acted out. So it's kind of like, oh, that's what his ex. Oh yeah, you kind of figure out yourself 10 minutes later, but it's not very well, you know, performed, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so we know that the fucking, we know that they were fucking pretty much right, because not only is he, as I mentioned, the only third male and so on, but the main character should also be fucking aware of it. She's aware of it, you know, half an hour later in the movie, but she should be aware of it at this monologue thing. The other part would be dropping 3 information, but why not? Why the fuck not? Right? It's such a badly directed movie that they're dropping those 2 big information bombs at the same time, and it would be better if it dropped 3 things. And she's saying, "Oh, it wasn't the shrink, it wasn't this. From the cops told me that, and for me, researching her because she's stalking her pretty much, right? She'd be like, oh, yeah, like how doesn't she know Actually, it's really fucking weird that Rachel doesn't know that Megan works for Anna because she's stalking her pretty much, and she's also stalking Anna and Tom, right? So how hasn't she ever seen Megan at their place? Because she's going there every now and then when she's drunk and so on. Actually, it's really fucking weird. She just figuring out that she's working there. It's really, really weird. I think she does it in like in the end of the movie pretty much, right? But she should be aware of that way earlier. We as the viewer are aware of that like 5 or so minutes into the movie. And she's aware of it like 1/2 an hour later than us. It's really, really stupid. Really badly written. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like if she was aware of that way earlier, then when she gets information that she was pregnant by a third man, we of course know that it's Tom. She should say also, oh, it must be Tom then, because she only had 3 men in her life. Because I talked to her husband several times, and her shrink as well. And she was like, you know, she like accidentally drowned her child 10 or so years back, or whatever, and she has like no friends. She only is her husband's slave or whatever, just stupid. The shrink and so on, and of course Tom and Megan. So she should be like, has to be Tom then, because she never met any other man. And as I mentioned, we also know that there's no other man in the world, right? She should be like, yeah, it has to be Tom. How the fuck did he do it? She's like, well, Tom is known, he's cheating on me. Kurt cheating on Anna as well. It sounds like my old douchebag husband. Yeah, okay. He must be the murderer. So she just figured it out herself, as we as the viewer did at that time frame in the movie, right? Which you know, be better actually. It makes her make more sense. Speed up the fucking movie. But it could also be that she could figure that out. And then we could have the cop being a murder or something, or at least actually even if that was the case, she figured out. You know. Even if she figured it out and so on. Around that space. Oh yeah, it's big. It's really big. That actually would be better in many ways, because not only would that make her seem less stupid, right? Because she's a really retarded bitch. She's a fucking idiot. Basically. But also, that would also point at her. That kind of my main point with it. Not only was it obviously what it has been, because we don't have females, but because it's so blatantly, stupidly presented, it also removed the chance that she could be the murderer, right? But if we're getting a which from her saying that, oh, the Tom must be the father. How could he? I guess Anna. Oh, what a bitch! She cheated on Anna. Oh, I hate her as well. You know, like then she can have I talked to her about something, and she could still not having to be the murderer. But they could have presented it way better in the fucking movie. It could be directed so much better. That we see more evidence because of her like clouded memory, for drunk blackout memory. We can have more evidence pointing at Rachel being the murderer, even if of course it can be Tom, and you probably would expect, because you know that he's fucking the father, right? You know, that would have been also be way better, way better, right? Because I can see how easily they could have pointed that more against Rachel, while also revealing that, and then, as I mentioned, then still, sure, we already know, the viewer, if the viewer is aware of happening in the movie, and the movie world, only females, as I mentioned, instead of having, for example, the detective could have been male, the old boss that we saw in the flashback, played by Lisa Kudrow, could have been male. That would have made it very little sense that she was the one playing her. But it could also be, for example, we see that she is trying to be, what's she, an art gallery manager or something like that. So yeah, something like that. Like she's managing galleries, art galleries, so it's something like that. We could have seen a scene where she's, you know, she gets a new job. And it might have been some male in the background, but she didn't really talk to anyone. We could have seen a scene with Megan going to like a new job, or you know, trying to get a new job and whatever. And of course, she's mentioning out of a whore or something. It's very sexual promiscuity, pretty much. Prostitute, well. We know she mentioned that to someone. She basically lived in the woods, she's fucking a guy for like a year or something. And she killed her child. so on. So yeah, like we know she's open to sex, so to speak. So you can see in a scene where she's like talking to her new boss at the art gallery, as she mentioned earlier in the movie, and so on. And her monologue's like, oh, I used to be this, and then I was a whore, and then I did this, and yeah, not in that order, and also several stuff at the same time, and so on. That could point to her sleeping with the shrink, sleeping with Tom, or sleeping with the husband, and also sleeping with her new art gallery boss, or something like that, or several people in that community. Probably like a, you know, knit community, right? So she was sucking dick everywhere to get a new job or something. Could have been a point in the movie. She pretty much presented herself like that. That would have been good because it would give us more doubt that is it really Tom? I mean, yeah, it kind of points to him being a douchebag and being the father, but we also saw that art gallery guy in the beginning, and then we saw her old art gallery boss that fired her or whatever, let her go. He could have been the father, maybe she with him to get the job back. You know, you throw in a fucking few order mails, or a detective something, or like the roommate or whatever, right? Just throw in a few order mails, just to make it more like, yeah, okay, you know, they might be the murderer, for whatever reason. Just to give it a little shadow of doubt, at least. I mean, as I mentioned, the movie is very slow paced, right? A lot of useless drama in the movie. It's after not it'll see it after this. One of them could be the timers, because it replaced 10 minutes of that shit with Megan's life being more focused on. And of course, also Megan's life was actually the highlight of the movie, and probably also was remembering of Gone Girl, because that kind of like the monologues, hers, the little similar to Gone Girl's monologue herself. Probably on purpose, as I mentioned earlier. And you hear all the fireworks now outside, but here in Sweden right now it's like 6 hours left, I think, or more probably, to midnight. So I'm gonna go out, as I mentioned, in a few hours, but yeah, so I mean, people are way earlier. That was a really high firework actually. But anyway, yeah. You might hear it on my microphone. I'm sure it's picking up the explosions. For example, you know, I think it's just a bad writing, just a bad direction. How can't you fucking see that? Like, I'm not an expert on, I'm more of, you know, writing lore for games and so on. I've done it for a few games, not a big games, but some indie games and so on, and games I've never released, so on. And I have written a few books and so on, of course. But yeah, I'm just like, really? This is like fucking 101, you know, dramaturgy. It's like, it's really, really obvious. You can't have like, basically one male in the whole fucking book or movie whatever, and then say, oh, the victim was also pregnant and someone killed her because they didn't want to have a baby with her. Oh, it's only that the brother, oh, who could it be in the movie? It's probably the brother. Like, you can't have that, because you basically have that, right? You say they had 3 main characters, but they excluded the 2. They literally said right away, oh, she's supposed to be pregnant, and but it can't be those 2, because we know for a fact that DNA testing proves that it's not my husband or the shrink. So yeah, like, okay, so it's Tom, right? You're right. That is so stupid. But I mean, you could have been done way better in every regard. You could have had more, yeah, as I mentioned, the art gallery, whatever. Point some points to it. But also, so that is that thing, as I mentioned now, for probably an hour or something, with the movie, with the girl on the train, that is just so predictable at that point. But it also is predictable in the whole, how the movie is too low bit. It's too low bit. And what I mean with that is that it's so obvious, if you've ever seen a similar movie in your life before, that you know that Rachel isn't gonna be killed. You know that fucking Rachel's gonna survive. Anna's probably gonna survive. Anna's a little more, she might be killed by Rachel or her husband, something might happen. But you do fucking know that Rachel's gonna survive. It's too obvious in the movie. And the movie even ends with her sitting on the train again, looking out saying, oh, you know, and you know that it's fucking gonna happen. You know, I mean, I was 100% sure. I never said 100% sure, but I was 99.9% sure the last half an hour, but I would say last hour of the movie, that she was gonna survive, whoever was the murderer, and that nothing was gonna happen to her. I mean, nothing. Like, if she murders someone, she's gonna get scotched away, of course she does, and so on. I was 100% sure that whatever happens in the movie, she is gonna get out of it with no actual injury and also no law against her. Whatever happens. It was so fucking obvious. And I pretty much felt that after watching the movie for like 10 minutes only, that she was gonna survive with no injury at all, right? For the last hours I was like, yeah, she's gonna probably kill the murderer, which is obviously her husband. She's gonna get away from it. But yeah, people watching now, I'm reviewing. I'm doing a review here while fishing. I'm reviewing. What we call it again? Girl on a Train. It's gonna say Gold Girl here, but yeah. No, the movie had an issue then that you know for a fact, pretty much. I would say 99% sure, already early in the movie, that because of the character being so, well, not character, but the whole movie being more kind of melodramatic, the alcohol and so on, not very action-based movie, you do know that the main character is not gonna get killed, right? The main character will not be killed in the end of the movie, because, yeah, the movie is a hacker, it's a horror movie, it's way too slow for that, the pacing and so on. And so the problem with that movie then, a lot of problem that movie has, but the last half an hour, at least this hour, but half an hour, we 100% know who the murderer is. We 100% know that it's her ex-husband. He has to kind of fight him to survive and so on. But the problem is there is no tension, there's no drama, because we know as the viewer, because how the whole movie is, we know that she won't get the animal danger, right? We know that she is gonna survive, and that the movie that takes half a fucking hour to resolve the only real conflict in the movie, and her stabbing her husband and killing him, and we know it's gonna happen, right? We know it's gonna happen, and it's just slow. It's really, really boring. So don't watch the movie, don't watch The Girl on the Train, it's a really bad movie. But I mean, specifically that part, it's just tedious. You sit there and say like, yeah, okay, she murdered him, but like she didn't get in danger, what a surprise. And also of course, in the end of the movie, she and Anna, the wife, they have the same story, like, well, that's a interesting image, save it. And yeah, like, you're telling the same story, oh, it was self-protection, it's like, yeah. We know it's gonna happen. Could it ever rain? So I'm trying here, if you watch my last part here, I'm trying to face the frog boss. It's gonna be in the north here, and it has to be raining. It has to rain to get the frog boss. So I'm fishing, hoping it's gonna start raining, because it has to be a day as well. Then I sleep at the camp to spawn a new weather, and just hoping to get the damn the guy I told. This is really weird. The game never rains. But anyway, I want to keep reviewing this movie then, while I try to do this for a few minutes. And yeah, so that is really weird, because sitting here half an hour, it's actually uncommonly bad for a movie. This movie then. Girl on the Train. It's so obvious that it's, yeah, oh, she's gonna survive. And you even know that. I mean, I predicted this very early. I predicted it very, very early. You also know that she is not gonna get any problem. She can probably murder him. And yeah, the people. This thing, yeah. Yeah, you pretty much know for a fact she is gonna not only be able to kill her ex-husband, but she's also gonna be able to kill him without getting any trouble from it, right? You just know that. It's so obvious in the movie that she's gonna be able to do this, and she's gonna get away free from any prison time. It's very, very obvious. Yeah, so this is really boring. But the problem with the movie is a lot of problems in the movie, but that's also the only problem. That there's no actual tension to it. You just know that she is gonna be surviving. Not a problem with the movie, because of the ending of the movie, so yeah, spoilers here, but yeah, go watch the movie, but not a problem is just how the actual is acted out as well. It's such an unbelievably stupid villain in the movie. The murderer, her husband Tom, just fucking retarded. Like, because he knocks her out in about half an hour or so left of the movie in the kitchen, and I don't know what with her. I think he just like forces his wife upstairs or something. Actually, it's really weird what she has called the cops for. She has their kids to go up upstairs, and then we see the flashback of the actual murder. You know, the actual murder in the movie of Megan, and then it's like, oh, you know, it just keeps going in the kitchen, but like it's morning, you know, it's like late night, so it's gone like 10 hours or something. And it's really weird, like, so the wife just managed to go away from her husband, and she just couldn't call the cops or something, because she just figured out herself that her husband is the murderer, and then she helps ready to kill him in the end. So it's like, and like she stabs him in the end, and then when he's like bleeding to death, she comes like feeds him off. So she wants him to die as well. So it's like, why didn't she call the cops or something, or took a weapon or something upstairs? It's just really, really stupid. Like, her action makes no fucking sense during the night, absolutely no sense. But also the murderer, then his action also makes no fucking sense, because he knocks her out, the ex-wife, you know, she beat him up. He used to beat her and so on, so it makes sense. Like, that makes sense. And obviously he knows that she knows he's a murderer, so it makes sense that he wanna, you know, kill her or something. Probably his current wife. Yeah, that makes sense. But after we get the flashback, it only is kind of redundant, because we know for a fact that he's the murderer, so you just kind of wanna skip it. You just kind of, but actually that murder scene should be faster, because, but as I mentioned, the whole movie could be in like an hour at max something. Shouldn't be 2 hours long, should be like an hour, maximum an hour, with the actual very, very lacking plot and so on. So anyway, yeah, so we know that. And she was up in the kitchen, on the floor, where we last saw her, in exact same position, by the way. Bad direction again, because pretty much impossible. If you knock someone out and they fall to the ground, it's kind of like a left leaning position on the body, and she would work up exactly the same position. Like the body wouldn't move at all, like that's fucking stupid. But bad directing at the moment all the time. But that also is impossible in real life, right? That's what's gonna happen. If you knock someone out, or they're sleeping, they're just gonna sleep in the exact same position as they woke up. So obviously they just kept filming after she got in position, and then they, you know, okay, pause, okay, continue. That's probably how they did it. Obviously so fake, very, very unnatural for that matter. But yeah, and she's lying there. It makes no fucking sense. Because he cold-bloodedly killed the other woman. Like, I mean, really, like, he just, like, first push her down on some rock, which was actually very stupid. Very, very stupid how that was done. I'm gonna bet it later, but that was really stupid. But yeah, and then he was like, you know, punching her a little, pulling her into the warning for like pulling her into some trance or something. Bad camera angles. And then it was like, oh, I'm gonna punch you now, or, you know, bury you alive. She starts fighting back a little, and he like kills her with a rock or something, and he keeps punching her with a rock in the face. That wasn't like an accident murder. That's like a real murder. And he has been abusing her. Rachel, the main character, he abused her for years, and he punched her with keys and stuff like that in like her blackout in the beginning of the movie that you see later. Yeah, so he's a cold-blooded killer pretty much. You know, some kind of sociopath or whatever, right? And it's like, yeah, he shouldn't have much remorse for that matter, but he plays out with some remorse when she is on the ground. It's really weird. Basically, the flashback is presented as him, you know, thinking about it, not telling her, because she's not fucking around. It would make more sense if she was, you know, wake up and he would tell her what happened. It's like, oh, I did this, right? Instead, he's like thinking about it in a remorse state, I guess. That makes any sense, because he's a fucking fat or something like that, whatever, and obviously he has some kind of evil person. So it makes no sense that he sits there and actually having remorse. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no sense. That was a very, very small trout. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. And that's also bad. But obviously the bad thing is that she's up on the fucking floor. And he's just staring at her like he was awake the whole night, thinking about his murder and being like, yeah, it was bad of me. And now he's staring at her instead of fucking killing her. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's such a bad movie. And it's just like, oh, we have to do this because she has to survive. Because it's this kind of movie, you know, when the main character survives. But it's just, it's such a bad movie. It's the best 3 out of 10 movie, but this scene makes such a little sense. Purely made so the main character can survive, and the murderer being absolutely retarded. In real life, that would never happen. I mean, I'm not a criminal, but if I knocked out my ex-wife when she accuses me for, you know, murdering my mistress, I guess she is, and I'm like, oh shit, she knows that I murdered her. I knocked her out in the kitchen. I would just fucking stare at her while she is knocked out, because especially if I abused her for like 5 years previous to this, so I probably have zero feelings for her, like feelings for her. Right? I would be like, yeah, I probably should kill her now. You know, when she's not out. I should like tie her up and then kill her, or I should like rape her or whatever, then I can kill her, or you know, or maybe I should tie her up as sex slave. I don't fucking know, but you get my point, right? I wouldn't just leave her there. It's just so stupid, and it is such an unbelievable stupid act. And he's been like, and it doesn't make any character sense either. Like, oh my god, I should have fucking PlayStation movie now so I can see my special name. It doesn't make fucking sense either. Because he is also like calculating. Yeah, probably was psychopath, probably, I guess. But he's calculating too. Before in the movie, he did calculate. Right? He's been like, oh yeah, I get drunk, and then I pretend that I got fired because she embarrassed me in front of my boss wife, and I tell her it's all this, you know, lies and so on, and so she gets guilty, and then I can, you know, sexually abuse her because she feels guilty because of my job, and then I actually got fired because I slept with like 5 teams in my office and blah blah blah, so on. But I can blame her, she will figure it out, and he's like fucking calculating that, you know. And he's doing that for years against the main character, and of course then he was like playing around, cheating on her, his new wife with his new girlfriend, and blah blah blah, and tricking her husband, and basically fucking his, then, you know, his child nanny, like in front of his wife, current wife, is raining, you know, and so on, right? He's like calculating all that. So he's supposed to be a smart guy, right? And also, I guess, probably a psychopath because he's like calculating. He calmly kills his mistress with no problem, and so on, right? So he had all of that in the movie, and he still is just like, oh, why is not out my ex-wife, a woman that I hate, a woman that I have so far in the movie shown zero, you know, actual love for. I'm abusing her as a sex slave pretty much, or tricking her and blah blah so on. So why the fuck would it be like, what should I do with my ex-wife? He should just kill her, right? There is no actual logic sense that the main character managed to beat her ex-husband and, you know, kill him and survive, and then the cops wasn't arrested her. That's obviously, but, you know, yeah, that makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. This of the movie, as I mentioned, the directing of the movie is with the scene, telling a storyline, all that is crap, as I mentioned, but especially all the details as well, like the positioning, and the pacing, it also makes no sense. Because you decided that, oh, she has to survive because it's like a good movie or something. You know, it's like a thriller, murder, rape, drama, or whatever. You feel like, yeah, we have to, finally raining. It's working the number. If the rain stops now, I'm gonna skip on. More than the movie. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. Fireworks, yeah, but yeah. It makes no fucking sense. Like, why should I do that? And I mean, it's such a fucking bad movie. But I was thinking that as a man. I was thinking that all the time. When I watched the movie from like pretty much the first 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, this kind of movie where the main character always survives. It's too obvious, you know, how the movie presents that she's gonna survive, right? And it's so fucking cringe-worthy, really, that she is surviving in that position, because it really is like, yeah, this is no way she should survive here. But they decided when they did the movie, or the book, or whatever, but obviously the movie has to make its own right, that she's gonna survive. Regardless of what's happening, she will survive. So the way they present kind of the action and, you know, kind of the positioning of the main character, the murderer, the current wife and her baby, that's kind of should do more and so on. It's just like, it makes no fucking sense. It would be way better if she just called the cops, but he's like, oh, should I rape, murder my ex-husband, my ex-wife or something? But I like her having her as my bitch and blah blah, like, it would be make more sense, right, if just like pondering, oh, how should I torture her now, kind of thing, and then she's like, oh, I can call the cops now, like, that would make way more sense, or something like that, right? Instead of just like, oh, she does fucking nothing during the night, he does nothing over the night, she's just sleeping, not out, and then she wakes up, they fight and she kills him. It's like, how the fuck did he lose this battle? He had like 10 or more hours where he could have killed her, tied her up or something, and also killed his current wife. Because she knows. Oh yes, that's fine. Birds. Yeah, so we have to have rain to fight this guy, but we waited for very pictures lined up. I decided that's gonna, you know, milk this fishing until I get that win. Really nice. Almost never made a high level, I just wanna, you know, kill it. Probably reaching a spire. So anyway, yeah, like, that makes no sense. It really makes sense why he didn't, as I mentioned, you know, kill her or sleeping. He's tying up. If he can't, you know, figure out what to do, she leaves tie her up. It makes no sense. First why did not. Because they asked her response to kill him afterwards is pretty much happened right. So it's like, what? Just did like, well, I'm still gonna stay with my husband even if he murdered this bitch. And that would be like, okay, I can see that. That wouldn't make my sense of character, but it would be like, yeah, okay, I can see it. But she's like, oh, I'm gonna kill him and have a chance. So she just fucks. Like, you know, this makes sense. Anyway, the last struggle as well then, so as soon as she breaks up, she's like, oh, I'm out of here, you know. She runs away from me. They got this like corkscrew opener, bottle opener, for wine and so on. And she's like, okay, he didn't plan for a fucking second. He didn't put like a chair in the way or, you know, remove weapons in the kitchen, a lot of knives and so on. He didn't like think about not letting her have access to a bunch of different weaponry and close to him. This is so stupid. It's also out of character. Also got bad it's out of character, it's so badly directed because not only is he, you know, shown to be an evil bastard, he's shown to be, as I mentioned, a calculated evil bastard. I mentioned it several times, but obviously he has been tormenting her for years, tricking her with stuff and so on, right? So he's actually thinking about stuff he's done. You know, he has his anger moments, but then it tricks her into believing it's her fault and so on and so forth. So he's supposed to be good at this situation. He's supposed to be the kind of guy that, oh, during pressure he was angry and so on. So it just makes no fucking sense. Also, of course, in any regard of it, it makes no sense because not only is he calculating in general and evil, he's also a guy that has anger issues. So after beating her up, she knocks her down. He should be like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking rape her and kill her, or, you know, I'm just gonna cut her body up with body parts and fucking throw her in the river. He should be, you know, like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. He should be in anger mode in this situation, anger and survival mode, like surviving from the law and anger mode against her. So why is he sitting there remorsing his kill that he didn't remorse earlier? It makes no fucking sense at all. Even he's a bad character. They're all really bad written characters, but that's also out of character for him. So it's just like, wow. So they're all very one-dimensional, right? They're very, very simplistic characters, but that goes against his simplicity. It's really bad. That movie, I'm thinking about it. I give it a 2 out of 10. Girl on a Train, yeah, 2 out of 10 at best. Wow, that movie was bad. I mean, I kept watching it anyway. As I mentioned, I took a break from it twice, especially the half-hour episode like this. But yeah, like I kept watching it because it was so bad that I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna be able to predict everything's gonna happen. It's a thriller, and I can predict every damn scene. I can predict the fucking dialogue pretty much. And I was like, yeah, I can do it all and over again. It's just, wow, that was bad. And also the planting, because he like knocks her out after you're out of the kitchen again. But then she keeps fighting. He drops the bottle opener, and then you see kind of the camera, you know, focus on it, zooming in it. Typical, you know, planting in Swedish, and being like, yeah, that thing's gonna be used. Like, wow, tank should be predictable. Like, yeah, this is a new thing for this movie. But also, that made actually for that matter as well. This is bad acting, bad directing, the whole scene, because first of all, she runs away. I hate this in every movie. She just runs with this really shitty weapon in her hands because the front door is locked. She can't open it, even if she's kind of those kind of haggle things. You should actually have a problem opening it. She can't open it, and she keeps trying, but he's running towards her. He has to turn around. I know one person would be like, I'm turning around, defending myself or something. You know, I wouldn't fucking stand there being like, I have a back, completely vulnerable to this guy. Like, this is fucking stupid. It's so stupid. I hate that in pretty much most thriller and horror movies that the characters are usually horribly defend themselves. I don't mean it should be related to a kung fu trip, but come on, like, it's obvious. No people would react to that. People are really stupid. That is just a really, really stupid way to get killed, you know. That you don't even try to survive doing that move. It looks unrealistically stupid. I'm gonna park here to. Oh, the camera went crazy. Yeah, so that makes no sense. But then she drops the bottle opener and uses a way. Yeah, I think it's like a mean way. No, I don't know. Some kind of way, some kind of weird thing on the floor. Punch him in the face. Of course, it's this stupid, shitty horror thing that he's been beating her up, strangling her. You know, she should be really weakened actually. He should be physically stronger and faster than everything beforehand. Beating her even more now, and he should be fighting his life as well. And suddenly she can beat him, kinda. That also makes sense, of course. But that's a common genre issue, right? Because there's no way she could pretty much do what she did there. In reality, she should have died in the house, pretty much. Of course, his current wife just stands and looking at him killing her, which also makes no sense for that matter. But yeah, that was the horrible scene. But anyway, she gets free because, you know. Yeah, I don't get the good name. Yeah, she gets free, of course, because it's a movie. And then there's actually another like director issue there. The movie is full of pictures. She runs out, and I actually rewatched the scenes 3 times. I rewatched it over several times because I was like, huh? Because she runs out, and I am sure she's gonna use the course weapon. Pretty much based on how it's going. Right? But you don't actually see her pick it up. Like literally, I mean, I watched the scene. Maybe it's really, really bad camera angle, directing, whatever. But I guess she picks up the weapon, but you can't see her hand. Kind of moving swiftly on the ground, but you just actually picking it up. Like I rewatched the scene, and there's no fucking way that she picked up the weapon during the scene. She actually does it. She does not fucking pick up the weapon. And then the next scene, Subtle has it when she's running, but you can't actually see her running it with her hands. Like you can kind of maybe see something in her hands, and that should also be showing that she's running with it in her hands. And he turns around and he kind of leaps at her, and you know she stabs him in the fence, but you don't actually see her having the weapon beforehand. You don't see her pick her up because it's horribly directed, horribly camera version. That could be way better. But also, of course, sudden, you don't actually see her running with it. You must see something flashing a little, but it's way too, you know, unclosed, right? So it should be much more open. That she's like, oh yeah, she defends herself, or she has it in her hand. She's running. Oh, then how is it? It's here. Oh, let's look. Here it is. Yeah, that could have been so better. displayed that she has it in a weapon when she's running, and that she picks it up, but it doesn't. She turns around when he launched her and she stabs him, and yeah, it's really badly directed, as I mentioned. But it also is, yeah, like it's in both parts, right? How to pick it up. You just kind of have to switch speed it up because it's a stupid movie, but you can see it either. And also that he stops, which is also a hit with every movie. That has a lot of movie has the issue, but so she stabs him in the neck, like a left side of the neck, front of it, and he just completely stops. That is also, of course, a fucking retarded thing to have. I mean, but the movie has, I hate everything, games, movies, so on, are better detail. It's a good part of games, right? Especially the young games, you have like very good detail in the game. Names of rooms and everything, like a Dragon Store or whatever. And this movie does everything to don't understand good, you know, good drama as well, because it's like, the details here is fucking crap. If you run at me at full speed, like this guy's running, you know, for his life, right? This woman that he hates has left his house, and she's gonna get to the cops and ruin his life. So he's chasing after her in his maximum full speed, right? Obviously, always stupid. And he's gonna kill her, and you know, he's very motivated for running something. And she stabs him, and also that is stab him hard, like very lightly, and he can lunge at it. That wouldn't stop his momentum, right? That is actually impossible on physical. If someone like stabs me in my neck and I run towards them, that's not gonna actually stop me, because it's not like them stabbing me actually just makes them take my whole body weight, right? That used to like make me sure I might be fall over forward, right? Because she's basically grazing him. She gets into his neck, but it's like her body's just standing there, and obviously in reality he would pretty much fall over her. Or if she's on the side of him stabbing him in the neck, he will of course have a slice in his neck, and then he will fall forward. Regardless, he should fall forward, or she has to be like really forceful, of course, stabbing him, and then he'll fall backwards, because she has a higher, if her vector is higher than his vector, in order angle towards his vector, then he will fall backwards or to the sides, depending on if it's angled or not, right? How that degree, you know. But regard, he just stands there. He just fucking stands there, like that. And fast, then just goes slowly down. That is absolutely impossible in reality. To have that happen, she has to stab him with the exact same, you know, force, right? If the force is, of course, force equal to mass times acceleration towards, right? She has to stab him with her right arm with the same force that his whole body is running towards her. At absolute full speed, right? He's running for his life, right? And she's a very weak woman. You know, she's never exercised with them. You don't know anything, but obviously she's a drunk, alcoholic, you know, woman that never does anything in her life except drinking and sobbing and, you know, eating ice cream too much, right? She is shown to be horribly bad of shape, right? She's not fat or so on, but obviously she's supposed to be in horrible shape. So how the fuck she's gonna use that and like a fisting, you know, like that is absolutely impossible. Like if she runs towards me, even if she weighs like half my weight, because I'm a pretty big guy, right? And she jumps towards me, and I'm like, yeah, I just punch you in the face, and you just stop. You perfectly stop for that. I can't do that, even if my body weight is like twice of her body weight, and obviously my fist is that actually will make some force into her. She won't just be, you know, but and it stops. That won't happen, because my fist can't punch that hard, with that much pressure. That would happen. I'd be able to deflect someone like her running at me, so I make her fall to the side with punching her while I was avoiding something. But if I stand completely still and punch her straight forward, she's just gonna fall into my fist and keep falling at my body. Yeah, now we can do this thing. And that is a new hunt, yeah. One of those. I've never seen them before. Well, this is the scorpion. So anyway, no, I'll move you with people over. Anyway, let's talk about this thing, because I'm a martial artist. I have a black belt in it, and I train taekwondo, karate, taido. Shit sport, but it's probably gonna be down here then. We're faced last time, yeah. Therefore, the snake has to be a hunt. sooner or later, and also probably the Griffin at the order Griffin. But this will be easy. I killed this thing like twice before, and actually it's easy back then. But anyway, yeah. This is just me as a martial artist talking about, and also because I'm an engineer and I like physics. That is such a fucking impossible thing to do. Because I mean, obviously, if you want to stop a force coming at you, or stop a force, but directly at you, you have to give the same amount of force, the same amount, right? Because if I give higher force back, then you are gonna fall the other direction, right? Because if I punch you, you know, you're going towards me, push you or something, then you're gonna fall the other way back, right? Because I'm giving you a higher vector force towards you. Or if you do it to the side, our force is gonna combine and so on. If I like deflect you by going to the side and pushing you, so I push you to the left, then you're gonna fall, you know, diagonally, right? Because if you're going right towards me and I sidestep and push you to the side, then your force is gonna combine with my force, making you fly, you know, diagonally, right? So if it's 180 degrees towards me, and I push you in another 180 degrees, you're gonna fly in the 90 degrees. You're gonna fall in between those degrees because our forces are gonna combine, right, and make you fly in that direction. That's a very, very simple thing. I hope it's messed up, but I hope it's what I mean, right? If I push you, let me show you the car actually. Let me show you the car here in the game. If you haven't read physics, but it's very obvious thing, right? If you have the 180 degree thing here, right? But for example, right, if I coming in this direction, I have a good line here, running like this, and you sidestep, you stand here, right, and sidestep here, so you go like this, and then you push me in this direction. I am not gonna fly like straight here, right, because I actually had a momentum force, this is called a mass time acceleration, so I'm gonna fly to the diagonal. I kill these guys here. So they're charging like straight towards me, right? So these guys can avoid it and push me around. Thing is, you can do it in the game with the enemies, whatever. Yeah, so if you sidestep them, the force are gonna be fun. Some might be lost. Between our, you know, body form, like me, so the impact of, like into your, obviously, you push me, I push you whatever, to the side, some of your momentum force towards me is gonna be like, you know, into my fingers, right, because, you know, my hands, so obviously my body's gonna take some of the impact, some of the kinetic energy, clearly, but primarily, you're gonna run this, push me to the right, right? So I'm gonna fly like this then, right, to diagonally, because you are giving me a vector that goes this direction. I'm running this direction. So what you do is you combine those forces. So I'm gonna fly this, right? Because I'm flying 180 degrees here, or 90 here. So then I get a 45 degree, which is diagonally, right? That's gonna happen in reality. So if someone runs toward me, I run towards someone straight path like this, right? And they stab me by standing still like this, and you stab me like that, right? You smack me like that in the front, right? They have to actually give me the same amount of force I'm throwing against them. Hopefully I can just avoid them this time. Come on. Wait, or even are they? Okay. Yeah, like that. I hope you said to me that if I have a fist, but yeah, like you have to give me the same amount of force, same amount of force on the other direction. Because if you give me the direction that I mentioned to the side, like pushing me aside, then I'm gonna fly in diagonally if you side step for someone. Quite effective actually. This is one fight with even a solo level. Yeah, I mean, what she has to actually in this movie down in the Jordan train, she has to do the same amount of force, pretty much, cover him, make it stop. They don't believe the war part of the movie at all, but they say in this movie generally, and so on. So listen to the movie, because they make it, it's like, that doesn't make any sense. That is not how physics works. You clearly, the actor clearly stopped there because the ass hit around towards her and then stand still, you know, to get a good frame or something. It makes no sense in reality, right? And the movie is filled with horrible details, horrible like out of character moments, and no character development, and no character explanations, and also then failing on every kind of natural, you know, details, right? Because that and other stuff as well, like when he beats her and so on, it just makes no fucking sense tying her up. Actually, don't tie her up as well. That as well, then it's just like, why is he stopping there? He should fall over in front of her because she's not really taking the impact in her body. She's just standing there, by the way. He's pushing with her arm. That's just completely bullshit. She should be like falling down backwards, or she should be struggling like she be really, you know, get a bad. She's standing with her legs like, premise, you know, in what do you call it, 180 degrees or 0 degrees from each other, which gives you a really bad balance too. So if someone pushes you in that, you probably fall over because you can't really take it. By typical martial art, you have one leg, you know, in like 60-70 degrees weight percentage on your leg behind, right? So you can kind of take the blow. Also more to that, but yeah, just have precision is pretty stupid. You can't take an impact on you in the position and just keep your balance. It doesn't happen in reality at all. Like that's completely unrealistic. I mean, literally physically impossible. Given that he should be running in, of course, if he runs very, very slow against her. Like he's just walking towards her, like in normal walking speed, and then she just stabs him in the neck. Yeah, then he might be like, oh, he's standing still and for an hour because obviously his whole body walking towards someone versus stabbing them actually isn't that, you know, the pure force might be similar because your whole body's mass is way higher than the arm, but the acceleration of the arm is way higher, right? So it's like that could equal out each other, and you all be roughly the same, right? But obviously he's running, you see him running, and he should be running for absolutely his highest possible velocity. Why should he be running, you know, with like slower than that? That depends on fucking a lot. He might not be in perfect shape with age or whatever, but you know, his maximum velocity should be what he's trying to accomplish in this movie scene. Everything else is just absolutely retarded. So it's like, oh god, I hate this movie. And I hate that part in any movie. Every movie does that I hate because it makes no sense. Like, why would someone be, as I said, and you know, just stand there? Like, that doesn't happen. And actually, I'm not a medicine person, but I read a lot of medicine books, especially martial art, like fighting and so on. And when you punch someone in the neck, whatever, you can get the bleeding in the neck, even your heart and so on. People usually doesn't even die. I was obviously hating on this movie earlier for the scenes. I was definitely observing it, taking mind details and so on. But like, that is so stupid as well because like, if you die, you die. But usually you don't just step up and die like that. Your bodies keep moving, not just for physics-wise, but also you don't die that fast. You know, if I stab you in the neck, you're gonna bleed to death. You're gonna stand and be like, oh fuck, you know, I'm bleeding, and you're probably gonna survive for, you know, a few seconds, like a minute perhaps, or even more, because yeah, you bleed to death because you get the oxygen to your brain and to your heart, so you're gonna die. But you know, yeah, that it's not like you die like that, right? You don't die instantly. You don't die like, you know. It's like it's different if someone shoots your head, like point blank bullet to the brain. Then you pretty much turn off as soon as it happens, right? When someone stabs you in the neck, you actually have like a minute or more to survive because you can still move around. Your brain will soon stop working because they have no blood into it, because the blood is stopped flowing into it. But you don't like instantly die. And he didn't actually instantly die because then his wife like keeps stabbing him, so he really dies in the neck. But that is to, you know, to kill him off. But he shouldn't just be standing there. I mean, right? He shouldn't be like, yep, I'll stab him. Like he shouldn't be. He becomes bored. Avoid them? No. Avoid them, yeah. Like, you have to make those sense. And I really mean that, because how would you promise to? I would actually stab anyone with nickel here. I have broken bones, volume, so on. I have like I once broke someone's elbow. Also broke someone's elbow. And he kept waving, you know, he was attacking me. Some weapon. kept waving off me on the torch, even after the broke for like a minute more after the pain was too much. Because he didn't even understand. I mean, sure, he reacted very like, oh my arm, and he kept like, you know, just confusing and waving around, and it hurt him more even. And then he stopped doing it when he understood how he broke his arm and he kind of surrendered, so to speak. But he, you know, he kept waving the arm for a bit longer than he should have, because they already broken it on him. And you know, because his brain didn't even understand that I broke it so quickly, right? Like, and the impact and so on. So he kept trying to attack me for a bit longer, not much longer, but for a few seconds. After like a minute or so, he was kind of aggressive towards me, and then he kind of surrendered. Basically, he was attacking me with these kind of staffs, both with his hands, and I was like, I broke his left elbow. But anyways, yeah. So that happened then. But it was still kind of waving at me, you know, and so on, because the body doesn't just that quickly react to. I thought it was actually. Oh, actually, oh, fuck. Oh yeah, maybe we're gonna have to go back down to the camp, I think, to get to the hunt. But yeah, like for example, then. So if someone stabs you in the neck, you're not gonna be like, oh, I lied. No, you're not gonna be like, oh, I lied. You're gonna be like, oh, fuck, help me. I'm sorry, please give me bandages because I'm bleeding out here, you know, like, you're not gonna be like, oh, I died. That's not reality at all. That is not how it works in reality. Trust me. It would be more like, you know, oh shit, I'm being dead. And yes, this movie was, even though it had a lot of abuse on like someone's wife and a lot of like sexual and so on, it was a kind of dark movie. It really stayed in that as well then. I'm not saying that I want some kind of, oh my god, I'm bleeding to death and a lot of gore. I actually don't care about that, but it was really like, his reaction is pretty much about, oh no. His reaction was pretty much, oh you got me, I'm dead. It's like a painful reaction, you shoot someone with a paper gun. It's like, oh, let's play that. You know, they were like, that's not how it works. That's not fucking works. He should have been like, oh, I'm dying and falling down. He didn't even say something. I think he was like, I'm dead, you know. He didn't even say anything. It's like, he did some like one noise, like, and he just fall down, or like slowly fall down. Such unrealistic death. God, that movie is bad. When those did it as well, I mean, because that's not happening. You're not gonna, you know, most people are probably gonna scream and they die, or, you know, suddenly someone stabs you in the neck, you're gonna be like, oh, fucking bitch, you know, or something. You're gonna be that. You're gonna just do something that, kind of a robot. Like someone pushed your power button, you're like, going down. that shouldn't have to be. And yeah, Scorpion wasn't down here last time, so definitely. But it's weird that the car then went further away from. The car went where I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the car went where it was last time it was. Because he was back twice on other page. And really need a higher rank position. Fire you up, baby! If you don't go, come on, fire. Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense either. And also the movie could have been more on her explaining what she was in jail or something. You see very briefly how she's like, oh, where was self-defense and she's top scene, I guess. Or something. Yeah. Then it ends and that also well, I would have done if I was the director of that. I would be like, you know what? Sit there and train again because of what the movie is very quickly. I've never finished the movie. So probably read more of that, because that also made no sense, honestly. But not only that then, but like she should have been on the train again. Maybe I missed it out, but I did watch the scene and I was like, I didn't see any kind of. Oh, she's back on the train dead. But if you ask me, the obvious thing you should do, and this was, I hate this movie, because it's a lazy fucking movie. Girl on the train, it's lazy, right? It's lazy on every part. It's bad details, bad writing, horrible direction. Really horrible direction. It's generally bad storyline, bad characters, too predictable, absolutely predictable, but this big, absolutely predictable. But I mean, it's general things that, why is there no fun in it? You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done? And honestly, I'm gonna people getting paid for this kind of shit they're doing because the crap they're doing. You know what I would have done? I would have made her sit in the car or the train. She should be like, oh. And obviously, I think people who know me can guess what I'm saying now, but I'm gonna go to fish back my way. But yeah, she should be like, you know, she should be like, oh, that's a nice girl, you know. Did I miss it? Oh, she must. Okay, what's fun? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think anyone who knows me well, pretty sure my fantasy goes with. Because I love that things are kind of circular, right? So putting her back, well, I don't love that, but if you're gonna do the circle thing, right? So you have movie starts her on a train, and then the ends on a train. So you wanna do the full circle, but when you do the full circle, what you wanna do is you have a snake biting your tail, you wanna have the middle snake. That is a drama thing. That's a good fucking drama thing to it. But the way they did it is fucking bad because it just ended with that. Maybe I missed out on it, but I did actually rewatch the scene. Just the last 1 minute to say what happened. That was really bad, and that was bad. Maybe I was tired and missed out, but I'm sure they didn't do it. And for me, that is blatantly stupid. So what should I do? I would have done this. I would have made the train, and obviously this girl, Rachel, she should see a new girl. She should see a new, beautiful girl. Because the movie starts out with her stalking Megan, right? She's like, oh, this beautiful blonde girl, and she's fucking this hot guy on the balcony, and she's like, oh, she's living the life that I deserve, you know, being with a, you know, handsome husband that fucks me all over. Yeah, and she's like stretching, and she's like, she doesn't even work. She lives as her sex partner. It's awesome, and she has to say, oh, she's probably she's a really good lover, and she gets this kind of ideas, right? You can fantasize about how awesome her Megan's life is, and how awesome the sex is, so I hate all this jealousy. Or if envy is a better word, but yeah, she's envy, all envy. And so why the fuck is not the movie going a real? I'm doing a super hands now. So why is why is not the movie giving you the full circle? It makes no fucking sense. Honestly, it's really bad directing. It's really bad writing and dialogue, but obviously bad directing. Because you have this kind of typical drama thing where you have this full circle, and it's a man with a snake biting his own tail. It's also a telling of, wow, she have learned nothing. Because you really see it, Rachel. She learns that her husband was a horrible person to her and tricked her, but she didn't get sober. You learn that she understands that, oh, actually it wasn't that bad if I drank. I was just drunk a lot, but I didn't do that bad stuff when I was drunk. She just tricked me. But there's no resolve to her. She's just like, oh, I'm never gonna drink again. Well, I has it in the middle of the movie, but she has, you know, the end of it doesn't make her a better person than that. So it basically just put her back where it started, right? She's being like, oh, my life, I'm just on a train, because she still doesn't have a job and so on, so she's on a train, just traveling on a train, right? Also, that was really bad. I would give the book benefit of the doubt, but the movie says, oh, I'm just on the train every day back and forth because I have no job and I'm bored, so I'm just stalking people on the train. That's just kind of like, that just goes on. You don't not ever mentioning it to it, mentioning her roommate. Like, I'm guessing the book probably put a lot more time on that. That's an interesting part of the main character. This is this obsessed loser that stalks people using the train, and that really should have much more development in the movie, but had zero development. And he just goes back to that, you know, and she should be like, oh, I'm addicted to it, whatever. That's zero emphasize on that. It's really, really badly done. That should be way more. But I have a hard time seeing the book not focusing on like the title of it and so on. So I have a very, very hard time seeing that the book should would focus on that more. So I'm just gonna assume that the book actually is much better and I should focus on that way more. Probably it does. That made absolute sense. I forgot about that. That was really, really crappy in the movie. You mentioned that. So we didn't know that before, as a viewer. We just knew that she was on the train all the time being a fucking stalker. But we didn't know she had no job and just really was stalking her. Then it's like, oh, you sick bitch, stop doing that. And then it's like, okay, then never mention again, and the movie ends with training. It should be like, that this should have more drama on that, absolutely. And also then in the end of the movie, you should be like, oh, I still have a job, but I can't stop going on a train because it's so interesting, or whatever else. As I mentioned, she have learned nothing. Back on the train, doing the same stalking thing. So, yeah. Snake bites on Tl.DR, the full circle of stupidity. Learn not from mistake, speak. However, it's not, as I mentioned that, it's not presented well enough. It's presented by a fucking incompetent idiot, to be honest. Hard words, yeah, I know, but we really, because like, why? Why is it showing her? I mean, really, I would have written it so much better. I'm gonna sit here and brag, saying I'm the best. Obviously stuff is bad with movies so far. But absolutely, I would have directed that and just told, you know, I was like, yeah, stay out of the window, as you did in the beginning of the movie. If you just rehash the old scene, yeah, I don't even have to use the new scene. Just rehash the old scene. But I would be like, yeah, do it again, and we will, you know, we will have this new woman. What's that town called? Let's see here. It's called Venus. What? Oh, that is. Yeah, and we will have this woman. New hot woman, young and new, like in her 20s, big tits, whatever. Someone you will be envy of. With a really, really hot husband. You put her, and probably a baby as well, because she's having a baby. And you put her, like, you would be like, oh, that woman is really beautiful. I wonder if I could have her like, you know, whatever be there. But that is some, I think everyone here listening to this video gets what I mean. Right? That was such a fucking mistake of them. So an obvious thing to do with the movie. You should be like, full circle, let's put her on a train, and then also let's put her on a train, staring at a new, and I mean, I really emphasize how you're just staring at a train. The movie emphasizes looking out this is right. You should absolutely not stupid. Absolutely stupid. It should be her focusing, like really, really focusing on a new, attractive female she's envious of, and the female should like to have this one child and a very attractive husband. And she'd be like, ah, that could be my life. That should be my life. And it should be ending like, you know, oh, with all of this, be like, oh, this Tom happened, and well, you know, it was horrible what happened to Maggie, but I'm back to my good life now, and I, oh, actually I see that you knew interesting people on my train ride. But this woman, I imagine her name is called Torah, you know, or something. She's like, her husband is really hard, probably has a big dick or something. I would love that. You know, it should be something like perverted, something like that. Or like, you know, she's probably really good in bed. She probably does this, because she talks about that Megan, she probably does this. I never got to do something, you know, yeah, whatever. Like, or takes an ass. I never think even John wanted to or something. That should be. Yeah, that should be the ending, right? Really, that should be the ending. It's so obvious that should be the ending. She's like, you know, nothing, doing the same shit. And she's like, oh, actually, no one do shit. I found it. Interesting. My life is good now. I didn't get arrested because she just thought I was innocent. That should be some very, very short in the morning. It's like, oh, my life is good now. It's pretty good. I've actually seen this new perspective, you know. I think the name is yeah, like, give her a name now. You know, something like that. That would have made the movie. That would have made the last like prologue ending, or epilogue ending. Way better, right? Such a simple way to do it. It's an obvious way to do it because clearly she is back to being a stalker again. And as I mentioned, she has no character development at all. She has no, you know, character development in the movie at all. But it might as well use it as like, you know, good point and a good, like a reasonable point. And say, oh, she had no character development. She also has the same issues as before. She's a stalker and pervert stalker. Okay. You know, even empathy more say like, really beautiful woman that lives in that house now, and she has this beautiful son. I can stuff like that, you know. Give her that fucking shit back. Just to know that, oh, it probably happen again, or like maybe not but that is the one. But yeah, like give her that kind of weird sexual fantasy about being younger, beautiful woman that has kids and whatever. Just give her that thing back again. You're not gonna give her any character development, and you're gonna end up in the same place again, but you don't actually go the whole way. So you're gonna put her on the same place again, but without the details of that thing, the obvious addition to it. You know, I'm just like, yeah, it's just really bad. It is just, he has a more shot the luck thing, right? I mean, experience, yeah, experience. Some vitality. Actually, it might be better than one some people has. No, someone has that? This is probably better. Quick check there. Yeah, so, yeah, like, why not? Like, I never get it in any movies and so on. I mean, it's so easy, I think, in many movies, especially those kind of bad movies, we could easily say, well, this scene could have this addition to it, and then it would be like twice as good, like so easily. So easily, that last scene could have been 10 times better, right? And a lot of the scenes in this movie could have been a lot better. The movie is at best 3 out of 10, probably more like 2 out of 10, and it's just like, wow, those kind of things lack details, but like laying up like these, like why not? Why are you making her go back to the exact same starting scenario, but without actually showing the imaginary scenario? They have it on a map, can't be. Never sent there, so she will once. Maybe. Yeah, so that is like, oh, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, some people are so talentless, to be honest. I think I mean, a lot of safety gears say that, oh, I'm so great, I have so many ideas. I'm sure that's true as well, but I mean, in general, it's just like, really. But it's been in general, like, it's an obvious thing. That's not like, oh my god, it's not innovative ever. It's more like the most obvious idea ever. Because they're even going for this, they're even putting her in the same place. So they're even telling us, she's back to it again. She's back to it again, that crazy bitch. So they're even telling us that. But they're not telling us the story, telling us that you can have to point it out. So, I mean, I am assuming she's back to stalking some new woman, but it will get way better close if you actually shown that. Because we have to still think about it. Because the problem is that the movie has like, 0 character development and 0 character motivation, you know, and so on. You really have the position where you're like, has she changed? So obviously you're thinking like, yeah, she's never gonna change. Everyone in this movie's crap, so it's back to it. But on the same time, you kind of want her to change because you want to see any kind of character development in the movie, but you have none. So it's really complicated, if you get my drift, because you kind of get like, in one way you want to feel that, you know, yeah, maybe she finally changed, that's good. At the same time, you're like, oh yeah, she's back to the old habits. Crazy woman. Either one of those things should be true, but they just leave this ambiguous in between thing where you're like, she probably is back to it, but I'm not sure of it. Crap. You know, it's not. It's really bad. They also had this, actually, they had another main character, by the way. I say this for some reason, they actually had a 4th main character. He is shown in the movie after, you know, after you have excluded 2 out of 3 main characters being the murderer. So he doesn't count, obviously, for, like, he cannot be the father of Megan's baby, because he's after that. He has no like real story part until after that is revealed, so he can't be him. But afterwards, he is revealed, and he has some kind of relationship with the main character. And you see him in the flashback for murdered or so, he just gets beaten up by Tom. But it's like, then he's just out of the movie. Which also is really fucking weird. The movie is going for this kind of like, oh, happy end for Rachel. She can't die and so on. She has this kind of plot armor. So why not make her stop going to the fucking train? And if you're not gonna show her being a stalker again, being a stalker, why not, you know, make her say that instead? Oh, you know, she stopped going to the train. Now she's dating this guy that helped her. And she's also, of course, sober, and she's dating this guy that tried to help her before. Right? That could have been an ending in the movie, but I would say better than back on train again. As I mentioned, the train thing was too ambiguous, too lacking of an impact. Here, really bad directed, so it's like, yeah, just put her in a happy end. Then the Rock, nope. No, the Rock is like a 50, it's higher, I guess. Yeah. It might as well put her on, you know, a happy ending. Because they're kind of giving her not a happy ending, but also not the most tragic, like, fail life ending. So it really is like, did she not learn anything? I guess not. But then I want to see her sit there and touch herself pretty much, looking at some other woman fucking, like the Netterer kind of thing. Then I want to see her, yeah, Netterer turned on by random female she stalks, pretty much. So I know that she's absolutely still depraved. Instead of giving me, oh, they had a fourth mechanic suddenly, and then he's out again. They have like one freaking line. Okay. You know, it's just, oh god, the movie is bad. Especially the method on all detail, like why couldn't that be included? He obviously had feelings for her, so why couldn't that be included? She could be like, it's not the guy for me, or she could be like, oh, I'm going to the train, but I'm going there to meet up with whatever his name is, then Mark. I'm going there to meet Mark so I can, on our first date or something. You know, or like I'm dating him, so I'm taking the train every day, pretty often. You know, something like that, right? Why couldn't that be a thing? Like, I mean, it's like, why couldn't that be a thing? Men där. There are some new enemies. Obviously there are Kurd and the Pope and everything. Called I guess all the babies of the king was there. Yeah, that movie, don't watch it. Sorry, Girl Brain, really bad. This is so bad. Pacing is horrible. Yeah, but really, it's like everything does. There's nothing going for it. There's nothing going for it. Yeah, that one. I imagine it being bad. Okay, yeah, it's just, you know. Well, movies, and it's not bad enough actually. So you can be like, oh, it's bad. Never. It's not thriller. The predictable thriller. If you have a comedy movie, that is the worst. You can be like, oh yeah, it's comedy. It's bad. Then you can see me like, I can watch it and laugh at it. It's really bad. You know, that didn't work. That was also bad. I hope it was gonna work, but they didn't. It did not work. Someone, I mean, it probably will. If I can get it at a better angle. I mean, I did it really bad. I have 8 and birds in the middle of them. Maybe the bird was out the rim. Clearly. I don't think Dawnhammer either. Perhaps the least for a war. Best to actually be equal to the lost one more team. So I'm gonna try again here with drop relay something. Like something in the middle. They're very stood up right now. Okay, don't watch the movie. Absolutely recommended by me. Girl on the train. Everything was bad. So it is just been half the time and that's also bad mark. You know that easily half of the time of it. Easily. And it wouldn't make a big difference. Moving all the absolutely. There we go. The way better one. Hopefully it gets hit now. Oh, it's too late. They move out of this fuck. He's one of them, yeah. I hope like that. I was hoping for a little more than this. Slightly hard enemies, but too hard. Let's change filmer. This actually used for a long time, but this one, the mark thing would be best. Maybe this one can hit them. I'm not sure. But I don't know. Yeah. Try, but yeah, this thing can be the best here. Gives me the out. I'm trying to use my agile. Let's see, get here and gärna mot helvete för de flying enemies. Marting from sun, Marting, go. And expecting, you know. Fly around here, there's a lot of flying around. But more. Again. Oh yeah, this is more effort. How do I die? With the sword gives me life doesn't take it. No. One word death, probably too soon, yeah. Hopefully they'll get that safe from somehow. Not flying around, what with it. Okay, fine, you won't save him, I save myself. But yeah, like that's movie, I hate the movie. So many regards because only what was generally bad. Bad in direction and bad storyline. But it's anything you look, they can beat it is horrible. And lazy. Right? It's lazy and you see that, you know, what did I next time in the movie? Several characters. The world is realistic because people are that stupid. I mean everything. He hated she was knocked out. And she is not getting tied up, raped, murdered. I don't know, but like, well, is he like a predator? I mean, the main bad guy is presented as a predator. Every made a movie for douchebag. The husband of the victim is controlling the something. Shrink is fucking his, you know, call his patient. Patient, yeah, he's fucking patient. Definitely going against his doctor ethics and it's overall douchebag kind of feels to him. Like it's more personal invested into her, more like, you know, this than you're telling controller also. And of course, well, he is right, her husband sounds like a complete douchebag. They're also doing it very clear, like, oh, your husband is a horrible man. You have a better man, like a man like me. You know, I think it's very clear he's trying to alienate her husband. He can have her stuff. You know, then of course the husband is in this movie he's kinda like he might think that she's that, but very, very quickly he is also having to hide and of course having to know he's a bad guy. None of these men are look at the guy that the fourth guy that I forget about because he's super late. Some sort of that guy here. The old guy with like a normal receiving forces or whatever. He's one of them. Yeah, I'm happy with him. He's gonna gone. You know? He gets no development. He's out of the movie suddenly in the end anyway. Yeah. Very unrealistic. No man as well as I can. Too much now. Oh yeah, no better movie. 2 years ago I was keeping up with the Johnsons thing. The name was they on keeping up with Canadians. made those has to leave because the movie really had nothing to do with the musical at all. I actually kind of like it. I was just thinking about that. That seems pretty good. But anyway, yeah, like, you know, that movie was decent movie, but it also failed in the end for them. I hate kind of character build up because pretty much presented one of the characters wanted to change his career, and in the end of the movie, I really pictured that he's gonna change his career. That he's gonna be a part of the movie that, you know, he changes his career at the end of the movie, or like in the epilogue. The movie that presented to me, and but he didn't. Like, no, but like, it felt like he took his career because not only is he very like, oh, I'm tired of my life, I want to myself, and they present that female protagonist, the wife of the protagonist, he was, I guess he was, the kind of sharing was the main character, of course, his family. He was presented as being really, really good, pretty much at the neighbor's job, right? Like, he was like, oh yeah, she's really good, actually. That's natural, and then, yeah, the neighbor. And it was like, it was very, very, for me, very temporary. She was gonna take the neighbor's job. And then you see his wife and the main character then, the female main character, the wife of them. So they're kind of sharing the main characters, the two main, the couple, and you see them not, you know, really hitting it off. And she's like, I told you she's good at this, and blah blah and so on. And so for that movie, I think the movie was decent, like 5 out of 10 or something. Like but the ending, there's the epilogue ending, easily pushed it down for me one point of course. Just from that alone, because I did not fucking get it, honestly. Just that point, it's like, wait, didn't they present that he was retired his job? He said it like 10 times in the movie, and he's still doing it in the epilogue. That's stupid. Like he had a lot of character development, or at least presented that he had, but didn't actually play through it all. And there you see the female main character. She also has a lot of, they both have a lot of, they have so much development. The wife has 0. She's just badass. She's 0 development, pretty much. But they had a lot of development, and you see that she is like, oh, you actually, you know, she's also tied her work, by the way. She hates her current job, and she's very natural for all this more, you know, bad action stuff and everything. She's very more intelligent than her job presents, and so on. So she's like, and then of course the older woman is like, yeah, she's really good at this. I told you she's natural, blah blah. So everything in the fucking movie pointed out that she would take his job, be her new partner. This is partner no one he could just do what he wanted. She wanted pretty much his job. He wanted out of his job, and his current partner was like, I want to change it for her, pretty much. But then in the end, they skip 1 year and they're like, oh, they're back to being normal. And they did a decent joke about it when they meet them by accident in like Morocco or something. But it really was like, why haven't they changed jobs? So all the character development thrown out of the window. Yeah. That's pretty much that movie. It was decent humor film, one good action scene. Really screwed the movie over. Without the epilogue, the movie was way better. I would imagine what I said was going to happen. Well, it wasn't going to happen. That would happen in my head. So I would imagine that probably would make it better. For me at least. I'm going to see what the time here is. I don't know, New Year's Eve now. Oh, it's only, yeah, I can have 6, okay, so I'm going to play a little more. Half an hour more, then I'm going to quit to get a shower and so on. I'm going to town center. Going to like the, what's it called? City center. The avenue. What's it called? Here. Actually, I don't do a side street, whatever. Yeah, so I mean that's really. I never get to the movies. So they really pushed the movie down. Not only because it was also an obvious evolution of the characters, that she would be like, oh, you know what? He would quit and she would be like, you know, yeah. Like I could see the end of it being tough for the rest of them. And I'm not pissed off because, oh, I was wrong or something. I was wrong. I'm not admitting I was wrong. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that I was wrong because they guys are stupid. Right? I was wrong because they're stupid. I was right, everyone else is wrong. It's kind of that feeling to it, honestly. What I had in my head was is way better. What the movie did is way better than what the movie did. What the movie did was not fun. It's not like good ending of it at all. Not just because the way I saw it was like, yeah, they're gonna, you know, change seat here and see 1 year or 2 years later, he's gonna be like, do his dream job, talking to the main manager while he's gonna be like, you know, he's like, oh, you should shop here, that's so nice, you know. He's like, yeah, you know, and then they're gonna talk like, what wives are doing, and he's like, yeah, well, you know, from experience, she's probably doing that now. Then we see some jumping to some other countries, like for example in Morocco or whatever heading, and then see, you know, she's, you know, actress, you know, they're taking over his role, and they're much better at it for them. These kind of couple, so on, right? You see it's way better at that. Not only would that make much more sense to me, much more about closure. Because you have two characters, they both want to change the job, and what they don't want to swap them, but one of them is particularly good at the other one's job. The other one's telling her, so you actually think you're good at this. Which is like a natural, everyone's like, yeah, shit, you're really good at this. And, you know, he's just running down, and his wife is on the corner pretty much, so he's really good sense of it. But it's like, the general thing in the movie, not only do I think there would be a better storyline, but the general thing with this movie, as I mentioned, is that it also kind of dilutes the whole character development. Not only do I honestly, absolutely, my idea is a better idea of it, this movie, but just the epilogue itself then, it removes the character development. That's why I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it at all. Why did they do something like that? Not exactly what I imagined, but you know, something around that, because really, or maybe she should be in training to get it or something, depending on time frame. So maybe she should be super ready, whatever. Best joke about it. But it's like, it has to be realistic, right? But it has to definitely make more sense. Because you see, the main character, and he had a way bigger role in the neighbor, his wife has. He's like the secondary, it's called like shadow, what's it called? Whatever, he's like the secondary main character, whatever. So he had also, you know, a lot of development in that. Like he kept telling his wife first, tells her later. She's like, "Why have you told me? We've been married for this many years." Or it's like, he kept telling me stuff, you know. And he's easy to talk to with the main character. So you know, like that was a development for him to admitting that. Usually him, the main character first, but then there's like an internal growth, internalization of it, being true, and then also then telling his wife that he didn't want to agree with him at all, and then like half an hour or so she's like, okay, you may be right, maybe I don't listen too much, and probably actually should change up the brain. So it's like, you had like a 3 or 4 steps of this fucking him hating issue. Then also of course you have this underlying joke about the main character, the female character, constantly having a shit job she hates. She's really good at everything pretty much. She's an absolute talented genius and everything else. Like Mary Sue kind of, say. So I was too good at those stuff, actually, just me. But anyway, yeah, so it's like, she is also talking about changing career, changing her life, goals, blah blah, so on, right? So you have 2 of those characters, they both really like to want to do it, and they end everything like a movie in the end, and then you have the epilogue, and then you see them, yeah, this happened. You're in your mind of definitely thinking they're gonna, you know, shop or whatever. And then it's like, no, nothing changed. They're doing the exact same thing as they did last time. And they're both also clueless when they should be way better at understanding what the neighbors are doing after 1 year. Because it's not like the first time they met them again. It also was that unrealistic, stupid of them. Especially of the wife, because she's shown, as I mentioned, being extremely talented, extremely intelligent. So it's like, why is she not getting what they're doing? But yeah, that was maybe I'm spoiling. I've been kind of weird spoiling here, but yeah, like the movie is pretty bad, like 5 or 4 out of 10, maybe a little higher, but just 5 out of 10. But just the ending, epilogue ending, they easily made it 4 out of 10 at best because it just removes everything called character development. It goes against everything that happened. The faster you do that, yeah, but it really is like that display success. And it really pisses me off because compared to example, Girl on the Train, that is a movie with 0 character development. The movie has absolutely no character development. Everyone's a fucking retard. No one has any motivation, nothing. It's absolutely horrible movie, right? And in the end, you go out full circle and back and stop it. We actually made it ultimately made sense of the movie because she obviously didn't learn anything, so why not just do a full circle? But however, they didn't go it all the way, so it's just an empty, shallow way to do this dimension. Very late, very bad. The other movie actually had, Hill Johnson actually had surprisingly a lot of character development of 2 characters, like mentioned several times, especially on the secondary main character, on the neighbor husband. Several times mentioning several people, and then like the his wife is agreeing with him, kinda, and so on. It's her only character development, for that matter, that she is seeing. Yeah, you might be right about this, and then she doesn't actually. Yeah, she's like, you might be right, I'm a bad listener. I guess she never changes. She's kind of admits that she's a bad listener, pretty much, and agrees with him so much. That's her only character. She has absolutely no character development. She's a very pretty woman, pretty much. Almost very sexualized in the movie. But yeah, then you have the epilogue, which is like he's throwing out everything you saw in the movie. You said actually fucking you never learned anything. Yeah, this one sounds really hard. Elder Curls, of course. Horrible enemies. You need rank fucking 8 for that. I'm rank 5. So I should probably be like level 100 when I get there. That sounds really rank 8, you know, because I'm rank 5 now. So I guess I need at least 20 more missions to get there. I'll probably be like... They're actually how high level I am, because I'm not level 60 yet, but still, it sounds really high. But yeah, okay. Let's go here, maybe? I don't think they have actually a restaurant, so fuck it. I'm just gonna check for new hunts. Okay, so that's what's called Countless, I think. Yeah. So that's this place. Oh, that's a disc. Countless, the what's the rest of it? Yeah. Well, that is interesting. It's interesting from a drama standpoint, especially the ending. It's like a pretty mediocre movie at best, and then it's like, but so the good part of the movie, the character developments, but it's completely thrown out the window as soon as they end the movie. It's like, well, actually, not him. Actually, they learned nothing. It's like fucking really surprisingly bad. The ending. Also even the ending. So yeah, that really pisses me off because they could have just let it out, you know. You have to think that someone thought it was a good idea to record a completely other scene, I mean in another country or whatever, but you know, other setting, this setting, after the movie. So they had to go and film that, you know, so weird, to make a good little last joke, right? That is just like, okay, this just ruined the whole movie pretty much. This just removed everything that happened in the movie, everything I learned, just thrown out the window, so we can do one last really kind of bad joke, mediocre joke, you know. When they could have done other mediocre. So I didn't expect it to be super funny seeing them pretty much switching jobs, kind of, right? I didn't expect it to be, oh my god, so funny, so predictable. What's that movie? I'm gonna look back there. Whoa. That car, no, it's no one there, right? So you can't have them here, so no, it's gone. Yeah, so it's like I still get it. That's actually one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a movie, from a production standpoint. Not because the scene itself actually laughed a little at. See, the scene wasn't that bad. in itself, just in a vacuum, right? Just that scene itself wasn't that bad. The whole movie wasn't that bad. But it's like everything was a massive character development. It's just that fuck it down the toilet, right? That's just like what? Her joke and that's over. Actually, even realizing as soon as I saw kind of something on that joke that they actually were still coupling, you know, as the marriage kept around, so to speak. That was like, so I saw it, I was like, this is disappointing, really disappointing. But at least I have some hope still. They were gonna say that, you know, actually, do you want to help me with this? And they would, you know, like recruit her or something, or he'd be like, actually, I'm just here to write my blog or something. You could still have made a joke about it, much better joke about it. That they kind of go in that direction, or that, you know, have this setting on them, and they're actually all four working together. There was a lot of things that they could have done. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh shit, this is actually gonna not be what I hoped for. Maybe now it's just so now, so that might still pan out in some kind of directions. As I mentioned, but I imagine exactly didn't have to happen, so to speak. But something in what those kind of, you know, those kind of directions is what I expected. But no, the movie is just like fuck you. The movie was just like, nope, we're not going there at all. We're going this way. So. And I was like, what? Because really easily that scene could have been removed from the movie. And as I mentioned, if I was doing it professionally doing movies, I would easily say to people, this movie is worth that scene alone removed, as I said several times. I remember people said it removed everything about the characters learning anything. So I would say this movie is, you know, bad. That would make my review of the movie. I can do it right now, but I mean, that's an official reviewer, and so actually listened to me. That was someone asked me, and now the cost of work is coming back here. That one is back, but this one's new though, and this one also new actually. Yeah, so kind of maybe yeah. But this is the whole other thing. I've seen it before, but I couldn't do it. I can do it now then, and put this one's back again. So we can do that later. A lot of money for that. Yeah, let's do this thing. Have a night. We have a lot of hobgoblins in that dungeon with the dragon is. The dragon. It's gonna be very easy. I mean, I know how to kill hobgoblins. Well, let's have the thing called Myrmonden. It's the third level of hobgoblins. That might be slightly hard. The hobgoblins are annoying. They jump around a lot. They're very hard to predict how to fight. So they're sometimes very hard to fight in general. But I think it's I think that we are pretty used to fighting hobgoblins, so probably will be tough. But yeah, anyway, I mean, that really weird to me on mainly a flash level, because if you just cut that thing out of the movie is better, by far better. Like that, this movie is not. It's really weird. It's like I have this idea, like who the fuck? Excuse my language, but who thought about that? Like who was saying, let's you know what guys, let's go to like the. I guess they probably recorded it in some studio, probably in California or maybe in Nevada or something, you know, a desert place, but whatever. Like they had to go to another place because the movie is something, I think, some suburban California or something. Right then, you know that they have to actually kind of like say, you know what, let us leave this place. Yeah, let's just leave this place. Let's go and record this like 2-3 minute epilogue scene. It's gonna be, you know, and no one said, but why aren't these two together? Said why haven't they changed partners? What is happening? Like we're going here. What? I want my chocobo. What? Where's my chocobo? Yeah, like, yeah, it's so I mean, I don't get it. Like, that scene, think about it, that probably maybe doesn't actually the hardest to record it on. But ignoring, thinking about the settings alone, because the origin there was have the last action and everything. That was probably one of my best scenes to record, because you have to of course leave the suburbia, leave the like 80 or 90% of the movie was recorded. They have to go to another place to record that scene. Actually, I haven't been there before. Yeah, so how the hell do we get to the enemies? Actually, have to draw like this. Oh. Probably from the left here, because you see the rock with enemies. So. Yeah, so I mean that's actually that's why I don't get it at all, because it just really lowered the movie's value, and probably there was a much more satisfaction for the most because suddenly it's recording big on the world, or in the world, but kind of world. But actually maybe the jump to the next much more. Kind of just really easy to hold the yeah. I guess like not so on let's put the 4 here. I think the one play level. Yeah. And I have some life back. That guy's gonna die, but yeah. We are able to get it. Oh, I was marking. Oh. Usually have I imagine that, oh, we're gonna put this in. We need, a lot of more assets, right? We need a lot more to get the scene to work, because, it's in desert instead. Sure, so we can rent like a desert place. I mean, usually in Hollywood, so that, whatever, but still, no matter how you do it, you have to, prepare, right? You have to prep something more up than a house we have rented previously. Because 8 cents movies in my home back there. So we live in some suburbia, and literally, I guess, 10 cents. 10% is work, whatever, rocket science, something, and then on the last expensive restaurant. Yeah, actually this is for sure, that's for whatever. So you have pretty much 3 differentiations, and then you have the 4th one of these last epilogues, which is, as I mentioned, that really weird, because it really gives you actually nothing, it gives you actually less than. Yeah, I really don't get it. I really don't get it. It makes no sense whatsoever. Like, it's just wow. That's not as every time. Just makes you like the movie less. So I don't get it in any way. Giant. Yeah, I guess. Red Giant really. High Space Red Giant. Put on road on the mountain. No weak. We got me. I thought I avoided it. Oh.
倒れんのなしだよ。
お前もな。
Last one.
もらった。
無事に済んだな。
Yeah, do a hit the Iron Giant hits them. I think so. But yeah, that's always kind of that stuff. I'm doing my this will be like my movie review part here. But you watch a lot of movies, you know, during Christmas and New Year's Eve and so on. Yeah, not just for free time, but it feels like, for example, with the family. Like we watched it's called more, and it's a Swedish movie on Swedish. Quite popular movie. You watch it, my brother watched that. Like it's used or something. You know, so you watch a lot of movies, of course, with your family. And I did watch that movie, as I mentioned, Girl on the Train Yesterday Alone, though. So. And I regret it. No, but it's actually, I don't know. I wanted to watch a thriller movie. It did look that good. It hadn't that many years. I like that. And yeah, it was way worse than that, but actually it looked easier with good talent. So I guess about people have that right there. But yeah, like the. This was something more like.
なんか食べとかない?
That Ove, that guy Ove or something. A Swedish movie then, it's like a mega Swedish movie, every year from South Sweden. The main actor is recognized for Sweden on that film. The actor. Like an old guy getting fired, so you recognize him. Obviously he's like 65, 70 something.
今日はどうしましょうか。これがなかなかくせ者揃いで。助かりますよ。この辺の事情を知りたいと。それじゃあ期待してます。
Ceremony and so on. It's yeah, it is broadcast on Swedish television for the last say 30 years, probably more. Every New Year's Day, 1st of January, yeah, they show that movie. It's like, what is it, 3.5 hours long, something like that? Yeah, it shows it every year for the last 20 years or so, at least more probably, like 20 years on SVT. Television, and then it stopped for whatever reason. We had to pay the money for it, I guess, but still it stopped. And then the commercial TV3 did the first commercial. They bought it, sending it last 10 years after that, because they were sure that the tradition of watching it is pretty high. So probably it's decently worth having the commercials in that region. Obviously, made the movie more than 4 hours then with breaks. So yeah, but it's a very classic movie. Shogun, I think, TV show about a guy gets stuck in Japan. It's a very good TV show actually. It has many of the same actors and also has a very good feel to it. Maybe because I like Ivanhoe, but that kind of very, very detailed historical kind of action. It's very good in the Shogun. I think it's called Shogun. It's of course Japan and stuff. So it also has, I meant to mention, that has like half of the same actors as Ivanhoe has. The same guy that plays the bull guy and so on. Big large guy in Ivanhoe is also playing as a kind of captain in Shogun and so on, so you recognize a lot of the actors. So from the same age there. It can be like 70s, maybe 60s. Yeah. Whatever, that's Japanese typical Swedish movie. Which I don't like on the Christmas Eve. Yeah, I watched Ove. I'm not gonna give it a good review because obviously most people there watch my streams and so on or YouTube channels are not from Sweden, so very important when it speak. Basically, it's Swedish. Keep it English anyway. That movie is fucking tragic. I did not like the movie that much, to be honest. And you know, I'm all in for tragic, bad Christmas movies, whatever. It might be fights a tyrant. Essentially, is it?
飯でも食べ
Might
て
be
いく
higher
か
rank, probably a higher rank.
チョコボたちも怖がっとる
Yeah, 62. High level than me, rank 8 as well. Okay.
また顔
It's kind
を
of
見せ
weird
て
if
くれ
you fight a Yobo walk. Because that boss is higher level, 65 something. So that should be, you know, I don't know, rank 8 as well. That's really weird. But also we have killed the first version of it as storyline, or the side storyline, so. Yeah, I guess that's why. What is this place called again? Comics. Okay. No, just Comics. Wait, Comics is in Leslo? Wait, what? What? Seriously? Isn't that Leslum? And then you have Comics in Leslum, which is what? The gas station in particular? Is it that's specifically the gas station or something? I was like, what? And what is it called? Comics bypass is this. Oh yeah, it is. But isn't that place also called Comics? Okay. Why are they both called that? Yeah, so you have two actually. Comics station, you have that one and that one. It's really weird, but anyway, yeah.
準備はできているか
I never really heard before.
行こうか
Instead, they have one in Leicester. It's like, what is the gas station now? Maybe it's a company thing. The gas company. But yeah, like. Buddha. It's about this old guy, he gets fired because. Actually, that's pretty crappy in the movie. That movie is not explained at all. He just gets fired. So pretty much, like, he gets fired and. Yeah, but he gets fired and the movie doesn't really explain it to you. It's like, oh, you're old and you might find it. It's like really weird. Also, it's really, really illegal in Sweden, so that would never happen to that. So I have to say, I didn't dislike the movie, really, like overall, but that part of it was really fucked up because I said it in the I was like, you get like severance pay or something. You don't get that in Sweden. Usually in Sweden you would be, you know, fire you, right? But yeah, you can't fire you. You don't fire him because he has
ああめんどい油断禁物ってね
you can't fire him, you don't. You can
調子いいじゃねえか
当然
out of reason or him to one but
ラウンド焦って攻撃してんじゃね
but it's kind of weird Really, I hate Francis in that way because he's a very, very much typical, like, you know, stupid, grunt work. He worked there all his life and he never got like a raise something. This is so unbelievable.
窓をエンジンの音がする
reality, very few people are going to stay in the same position even though they all their whole lives, right? It's not very realistic.
片付けてやる
But yeah, but anyway, he would be so frustrated with Sweden. The longer you work at the place, the longer your leave of notice period is extended. He's working for all his life, so he has like a half a year. The money will give him the money.
さっさと片付けようぜ
まあな 最後だ
Honestly, the best. What would you? What would you say to doing no? Live work, China and
終わりか
yeah, that didn't make
無事だな
much sense.
はいはい行くぞ
fees low and so on, they would have to pretty much pay you half a year of salary because he worked there for like 40 years, so he has
チョコボ臭いのってさ
benefits and so on. So, yeah,
嫌なんだけど
kind of weird.
な
Anyway,
んか好きなんだよね
also that.
あそこで
Then it's
働
about
け
this guy
そういうやつは
being
貴重らしい
grumpy, hating all his neighbors. His wife is dead, and he's sad and alone. And when he tries to hang himself, reminds me a little of Silent the Potential. He wants to kill himself, but the neighbor stops him by accident, and stops him again by accident, and so on. So actually, it's kind of sad, funny because you kind of like really make it. And then he hangs himself. It's a shitty rope, and the rope breaks, something like that. It was very obvious what happened, or the chandelier breaks, whatever, and it's very obvious what happened. And then he goes and like he complains with
じゃあ休もうぜ
complains with everything in life, right? So he goes and complains on like the people selling the rope, like, oh, you shit the rope because they hang people, you know. And they're like, what is this for? Like, nothing, you bitches, you know. That was kind of funny and really sad. So it goes for this kind of sad, fun humor in the movie, but
いらっしゃい
it didn't work that good.
調子はどうだい 奴らを片付けてくれるのか
The problem with the movie was a lot that he was almost a very sad character, but how should I explain it? He was very much, he's too unintelligent, I guess, for the movie. Because his character is completely unrealistic. He's just like, he's very, very much the kind of guy that you just don't believe in. I don't believe in his unrealistic character. You see character him in reality every now and then, but what's the question?
準備はできているか
Shit, what did I press?
行こうか
What did I press? I'm going to this outpost. Yeah, he's way too much complacent. Like they are bullying him, beating him up and so on at work, and it's like, why did he stay there? You know, he's supposed to be the straight man, right? The guy that you just wanna work and go home, work and go home, get his pay, being always strong and so on. But he doesn't really function at that. It's actually a pretty bad character because he's presented as a character that's obsessed with honesty. Like he finds a wallet with his father, and then his father's co-worker beats him up for it. His father saves him, and then he gives him a wallet to the cops or something. So he's like a very honest one. And his father's like, yeah, you're honest. It's a really good character. However, then when his father dies, so on, his co-worker, his worker with his father worked, he tries to like rob him with his watch or something, and he beats him up. Stuff like that, eventually. But the thing is that actually doesn't make much sense that he just go there, because if you're a very honest person, and it's presented like this overly honest person, especially Olsen, there's a flashback, and Olsen is very like, you know, rule following, strict rule. You can't do that. You can't drive a car here because of these rules, and you're not allowed to do this. It's very like, you know, strictly based on the law and so on. So his character is actually very flawed in how he's presented to the viewer. It's actually very, you know, mixed, right? Whatever you want to call it. So I'm actually not a big fan of the movie in that sense, because his character said that he's extremely honest of fault, right? And also he seems to be very unintelligent as well. Very, very like, overly, he's very simplistic grunted, right? And this actually feels kind of bad, but anyway, his honesty is a big point of him, right? And that the law following. Someone tries to attack him, he defends himself. Why doesn't he report them in the movie? But those things, better detail things, I hate them in movies because he's a character, I said again, following the law to a fault, right? We've seen this in the movie so far, constantly, and everyone hates him for it because he's like, you know, he's like a stick up his ass all the time, right? So suddenly he doesn't do it when it benefits him, right? And several times in the movie after that, or actually before that, but that and also some few other times, there are a few times that he can use the rules in his advantage, and he doesn't do it, right? And that is presented because he's really actually he's stiff as a board and everyone hates him, but he's a good guy, right? And people actually do like him. It's one telling that it's so predictable. And he has, you know, new neighbors that are like immigrants, and of course he hates them at first, he's like a racist, but actually he doesn't. He's not really racist. And then they're gonna, you know, melt his heart, and they're gonna be best friends, and it's such a fucking predictable movie. But just even without that, it's really, really annoying to me because they're presenting him as a really, really, you know, kind-hearted character then, because he's follow the rules always and make everyone follow the rules, except it doesn't, you know, advantage himself, right? Which makes the least sense. Because people are always about self-perseverance, and that is out of his character. His character should be following the law, and because he events for himself, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be like, oh, but I shouldn't follow the law when it went me. But you did it before you could get money. If you didn't follow the law, then you follow the law. So it's actually a little self-hatred in it, right? I guess. And that, I think, just didn't really mix. Didn't want that wasn't what they actually wanted to present about. Even Cho hates himself. That was kind of weird. That didn't really make much sense. It's more about self-hatred than following the law. It's more like he does everything to fuck himself over. But that makes more sense when he's older one killing himself. Doesn't make sense that he's in a flashback. He's like 20 doing that. When he's 20, he still has this, you know, his father died, but life can still be good, and he can still get married, and blah blah blah, you know, whatever. But yeah, he's like, that is not, he's very pessimistic when he's older, but when he's young, he's not. So why would he, when he's young, disadvantage himself, even by following the right strategy? Like, that is absolute crap. That is not the character presented to us. So it's the movie really fits that on Ove. Now here has stuff. Oh, are you Jimbo? This is like a really high level Jimbo, because Jimbo we have played before several times. Oh man, finally the character, awesome. Really awesome. Finally that character enemy. Characters was a very classic fantasy enemy. You can find them in a lot of, you know, merchandise, and yeah, you find them in all the games. They all shoot the needles at you, and you shoot like 1000 needles, 1000 damage, 10,000 needles, 10,000 damage, and so on. So they always do, you know, like the exact value that they said. The Gigantor is a classic enemy. It's usually the second level of a character. You have a Cactor, normal one. Then you have the Gigantor, like a big character. Then they usually has 10,000 needle ability, where the first one has 1,000 ability. 1,000 needle ability, and then you have a couple of other ones, of course. Blue mages usually can learn them, so yeah, this is a very big fantasy enemy. So just wrap up with Uwe then. Yeah, the movie, okay. I felt more tragic than fun, usually because I don't know if that was the purpose of the movie, but I felt more that Uwe was like a self-hatred man more than a righteous man, because he wasn't actually truly righteous. Mainly that's not because being righteous doesn't mean that you can't be self-perseverance. It is when being righteous actually benefits yourself, but it's more about being righteous that would in this particular situation help you. That's the main point. Main point is to follow laws. I'm very orderly by myself, and I'm very like I'm super law abiding and everything. So I'm very like rule street guy, and it's really my advantage. Of course, it's a big thing for me. But also, even if it's my advantage, I'm still gonna follow the rules. I'm not gonna stop following the rules because never had me. That is fucking stupid. Why would I do that? See, I'm the guy that fucking follow the rules, even if it doesn't help me. You know, if I play a game and I'm like, sports game, and I was out, and I saw I'm out, you know, or like, my server was actually going the wrong line there, like across the straight in like a double table tennis, and I was like, this point you because my server is illegal, right? I'm gonna give you the point because I also wanna win the honest way. I also wanna win without, you know, cheating and so on. I also wanna beat people at the best. However, I'm not against like mental you know, psych people or something. That's one of your skills. If someone can't take your trash talk, even if it's a better place than you, rarely though, because you know they're pretty weak mental then. That's of course is fine because that's a skill as well to be able to survive trash talk as well. That's not also. But yeah, like you know, why would I? I'm a guy that gives my opponent points if I have to because I did something wrong. Absolutely. So absolutely not. So I'm saying it from my perspective. I'm very law order abiding, extremely much more than a normal person, much more. So that being said, right, I'm not gonna not follow the law when it's like advantage myself. When it's like I'm gonna follow the law when it fucks me over, because I always follow the law, the order, the rules of the game and so on. And so when I have rules which benefits me, I'm not gonna stop following the rules, because I followed the rules, you know, before as well, even if it was bad for me. And it was good for me, I will stop that? No. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. So yeah, that was a really bad movie. Couldn't make up their minds when I present him as self-hatred or righteous.
これ囲まれたらやばそうだね
油断するとやられるぞ
But yeah, that's a pretty cool movie. Couldn't see so much happening, I guess, in the beginning of the movie, but then because the movie, that actually is a bad movie, a bad writing, and a bad character portrayal. Because I think that they wanted to make character, like, in my mind at least, they wanted Uwe to be like me, right? They wanted to present Uwe like me, like a super version of me. That's kind of how I felt when I saw Uwe, but they couldn't do it at all. It just failed completely. Because they didn't really understand. Anyways, that movie, pretty bad. Pretty bad. That was okay, Here's Gun to Run, this is very interesting. So they're running away. It is very classic for the Gun. They are running away. And they are, yeah, 1,000 life attack there. 1,000 life attack.
さてどうする
They was running a lot from the character in all the games. And they usually will give you something really, yeah, there we go, that's the second. And they also really, they will usually give you a lot of XP or AP or something. They will also give you a lot of something. Development. And they just run away a lot. I mean, literally run away. So oh, they're confusing me. Oh, shit. This is actually hard then. Oh yeah, technically be confused. Ignis, can heal. Maybe. Do still. Yes, Mark. Yes, more. I think Mark would be good here. Don't have would be good here. Pronto, thing one good and fast. Taunting them seems. I mean, taunting them with the anti-demon thing is point. I think that is like. He has a lot of demons protected. Oh yeah, the green thing on the ground, I guess, is probably some kind of poison. Yeah, this guy's probably going to be really hard. I'm over level now, but 10 levels higher than I could be. I was in this level, but for the world the rank is really high, has to be like then this has to be hard, like it's hard now. Yeah, because they're doing it because they can't have the music. They use one shot from you. I can't have it back out. They just kill them in one of those moves. There are 3 of them. If you manage to kill one of them, it's way easier. Just split up in 3. That's one really big. And actually, I have to say they are smaller. Yeah. They are smaller than what I would imagine. Actually, thought they would be bigger. 30 steps. You have to do the. I'm thinking like. Yeah, about the height of the point top, but it's lower than that. That was probably my item. Short characters are probably really small. Normal characters usually like knee high something to characters, so obviously they're all bigger. But they're like a big gang, so that's me. Oh, he missed! Oh.
Nice, Gladio!
Yeah, there we go. And almost done in all of the games as you know, attack. So you just have to matter, right? Each 1,000 times. It doesn't matter because you're taking 1 health. But once you're down now, that's awesome. And I finally managed to hit it. Yeah. I mean, they have low life though. Usually it's usually very low on life, very hard to run away, and you know, very high life. These are all glass cannons with the escaping primarily, so pretty much classic characters, very glass cannon. Hopefully it's more cannon. I was surprised if we got to the attack door. Similar to that, like the the gas one that we watch it all the time, and you'll but I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see that one on maybe level 6 or 7 one of the last enemies in the game. Or like Giga and Yeah, I mean, they're pretty quick in attack. You can avoid them, but those blocks are kind of pointless. Where's the last one? They're not easy to avoid them because they're very quick on like running around them. You don't know exactly what they're gonna do. The Martin here.
しっかり敵を見極めてもっと気を
Yeah, they were like, you know, good decent hard. Not like super hot, but yeah.
やったな
Oh, what's gonna use combo? Yeah, they were decent hard. If I was on their level, it probably would be hard to beat on the same level. But some mentioned these enemies are hard to face on their level because I think the game does pretty bad. It's one of the bad things in the game. I mentioned it earlier as well. The levels that the game puts on the mark is kind of weird. So you need, yeah, first of all, obviously the mark is not your level; it's based on the highest level of the enemies. So actually, in actuality, any mark is easier. They are easier or the same level. It's not harder because if there's like 10 enemies and it has level 50, it might be that you have 5 of 50 enemies, then you have 5 of like level 20 enemies. A lot of enemies are hunted into like older versions and easier versions of the whatever it is. So usually then you will face half the hunts or that, or half the turtles. You will face easier enemies. This one was purely save enemy. Did not come for this one, but that's one problem. Another problem is of course the general thing that the order of the hunts. It's of course open world, but maybe it should be a little more ordered. This one is kind of weird because you couldn't. I recognize, or I remembering reading this earlier. I think the character. I mentioned it like let's say 10 playthroughs back or 10 parts back. I said, you can't character. Can't wait for that because the character again. I mean, it's fancy. But this time is hunt level rank 5, so they're level 40. But you pretty much are gonna be on level 50, I guess, something like that. What level am I? Level 52, yeah. Not necessarily 50, but you're probably gonna be around, say, 45 at least, I think, when you get to rank 5. If that's on the main story, that wouldn't decrease the rank either for that matter, so you're probably gonna be at least level 40, probably way higher than 35 when you get to rank 5, according to how we, because I don't only hunt pretty much right, and the dungeons, and that has given me this level, right, and you do a lot of the hunts in the dungeons, so I think I'm pretty much the level you, might be a little higher than the level you should be when you get that thing, but not that much higher I think, at least 45 I think would be reasonable to say. So, given that right, you will be over level for this. Pretty much impossible not to be because the hunt is unlocked pretty late in the hunting scheme, right? So it's kind of weird to me, and the game just faded from that. Because this hunt should probably win a rank 4 hunt, that's me. They could have done it 10 hours ago, right? That would be way harder. More fun. Probably. Actually, you can look at this, right? You can, as I've seen today, right? Isn't it kind of weird? I've seen today that I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna prepare for New Year's Eve and so on. Yeah, for example, this hunt then, 61 sounds very interesting to do it right now. But it's thinking about like the other hunts, like the. So yeah, take like a very short break. You go and get some drink. But yeah, this hunt, I mean, it does seems about good chance level. Just give me a minute here. Me? So I want again. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this hunt and then I'm going to go to the newest part I suppose. I'm gonna drink. Talking for a while, so we were dried. Yeah, it's a cold right now, super dried. Anyway, so this hunt seems to be, you know, I'm quite low level actually in the Yimbo. But we have faced a lot of Yimbos before. So actually it seems probably to be easy. No, I don't want to say easy, but I mean the audio Yimbo thing around let's say 42 perhaps, something around there. It's like 61, 62, right? So it's gonna be a much harder Yimbo than before. But in my experience in this game, this Yimbo is gonna be exactly the same as previous Yimbos. It's gonna have higher level, so it's gonna have more health and more, of course, output of damage, or maybe a bit faster. Oh, I think so. It's probably gonna be the same mechanics and the same speed, right? So the same avoidance and the same abilities like holy weapons will be equally effective. It's gonna have way more health, pretty much. And also the thing with the Yimbo, I think that is gonna be easy. It's because the Yimbos aren't easy. Things that the Yimbos I faced earlier, even being around the level, they one-shot you. They have really high damage. So thinking that this Yimbo is gonna be that, this is an assumption for me, but I'm pretty sure it actually, is that this will be one-shot you damage. Right, that sounds stupid, but think about it. That will mean that this Yimbo will be pretty much exactly like other Yimbos if you just have more health. Other Yimbos will also, you know, one-shot me, right? And then you will have to be, oh shit, they one-shot me. Okay, let's, you know, go and do it again, right? Right? It will one-shot you, and yeah. And try to avoid the abilities. This will likely happen on this next Yimbo as well, right? Because it also is higher Yimbo on this higher level limit, like the previous ones was for. So yeah, I very much doubt that this will be any different actually than facing other Yimbos that also one-shot you. Actually, it doesn't have a group here, but probably it's going to have the thing to do against demons. Yeah, it's close here. Yeah, so I actually think it's going to be pretty much exactly the same, honestly, because I'm used to Yimbo killing Doriga with one hit. Yeah, this is going to be a bigger Yimbo. Very like 20 plus levels. But anyway, this mark then on the level makes sense though. I don't get why, for example, I don't remember what was like LG Curl, for example. It's ranked 8, and the first one is by far actually. Actually, LG Curl, but actually LG Curl probably is actually way harder. Think about it. Probably is way harder than level set, because the Curl previously was way harder than level 35. They're like 45, they're way harder, right, than what the level set. They also one thing, the level isn't really exactly telling you how hard it is. The Yimbo is probably harder when the level says that sense, but then I'm so used to the Yimbo, I think it's going to be that much harder than the previously. But like the smaller enemy, I read before, right? Some like 5 of them, and do like 60 something. Well, except the Behemoth, for example. That's also like probably the same basically over that time. So you can farm Behemoth. That's gonna be, you know, a rank 8 thing. That means that you will face the Behemoth we are probably like level 70 or 80 or something, because I am way far from rank 8, it feels like. Maybe I'm gonna level very slowly, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna level up at least 10 levels before I get to rank 8 at least. And then plus I probably have some story time, some story parts to also unlock more hunts, right? So I'm gonna be higher level than the tyrant as well, which feels a little weird. Like, I would rather do it now, maybe like 5 levels, which is still hard, than doing it when I'm over leveling it. Because if you're putting it such a high rank on it, you can't actually do it. It's kind of weird. Of course, you have to have some kind of rank disparity, so you kind of have to fight aggressively. Because it's weird if you can kind of use this on the world. That would be interesting either, but it feels kind of weird that you don't have some of the fights. The Scorpion, for example, the Leopard Scorpion, definitely too weak when you finally got there. We see this mission for a long time, finally get level 5, we get there, we're like level 50 plus, right? So we're actually way higher level than Scorpion was. So the Jimbo here feels like a good level to now, but definitely a good level to now. While I feel that the other enemies are kind of like, might be too high level when you get there. Yeah, this seems somewhat exciting, but not that exciting either. I guess in one way, because we have faced a lot of Jimbos before, so I'd rather have a new enemy online, like correct level, correct charge level. I guess. Yeah, we've been here before, right? Very long time until even ever.
こいつで間違いなさそうだな。
Obviously 4. That's the lower level.
リュウリス、こいつらの弱点は何だ？
ダメだ。情報が足りない。ドクター、頼めるか？いや。はっ。はっ。
Obviously 4 represents Green, as always.
悪い。
You know. So that means it's gonna be its own. He's gonna one shot everyone and one nothing. He's gonna one shot Prompto all the time. Gonna do the AoE ability. He's gonna one shot Prompto.
Nice, Prompto.
He's gonna one shot me and everything. You know, it's a Jimbo. These lives actually going out very good. He's all up there high on the very well scared. During the animation of the dark thing, something. I was comboing that with the lightning to take more damage. So like full damage here. Yeah, and that's what you think. Even though it's combos, if you want to again, so you get into really high damage. Very, very they're halfway there almost. The AI is
Radio,頼む。しまった。
You missed again?
イグニスがない。
What the fuck? I don't get that. He's stuck still. Can't teleport afterwards. Sounds like a bomb. Yeah, actually, I get the name now. It's not good. Limbo. He's like a samurai is fire. I don't know if samurai is no one, right? Limbo is a samurai that you can grab. skill. The more heal you play, the better you got. Hit block skill. I also thought he would try. Oh, that's the left one. Really, really weird. It's like a border of really when I went there, I lost my technique. But yeah, when I'm using this or random less people of them, really got to watch the fascinating. Fight on the same diamond. For life. Jag hellre limbo. You did that. Possibility and be better depending on the like what immune to that thing? Why am I still using it? Why am I still using it? But yeah, I did not. I was thinking this time, like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Stand still when he's going. Oh yeah, shit, yeah. Other was actually way better. Oh fuck!